Everybody's a snake, that's why I try to keep the grass cut so I can see them when they coming. Then I heat they ass up, cause them niggas that you went to school with will catch you while you in your new whip and turn your brains into Cool Whip. Niggas that you run around getting ass with ain't gonna help you do nothing but carry a casket.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, and NBs all over, you are listening to a really quick update, and it's gonna be it's at the top of the show, not at the end, because fuck, man, I got to get this out of here. And you're about to hear me do a lot of cussing. I got with me here my buddy Sean Paul, sports writer, good dude, handsome young man. I know this is not a video podcast, so you guys are jealous of who I'm seeing. What's up, Sean?
I'm doing good.
Right now,
good.
yeah, right now I am so salty, and Sean knows why. But for the benefit of those who don't know why, I'm just gonna let a lot out right now. Fuck CM Punk, fuck Chicago, fuck England, fuck the British School of Lucha Libre, fuck Belgian waffles. Oh man, fuck the Straightest Society, fuck you Adam Pearce, fuck you Cody Rhodes, fuck you Gunther. You know what? Yeah, hey, Sammy, I was so happy for you, but fuck you, Sami Zayn, you failed me one more time. Ah, God. Fuck Team USA, but
No, USA team's defense especially.
fuck. Oh man, fuck the defense. They just absolutely got bodied today. Fuck, fuck you, fuck you AEW, fuck you Death Riders, fuck you Gabe Kidd, fuck you England again for Gabe Kidd. Uh, yeah. But you know what? Damn, I'm gonna say it again. Also, damn, fuck you, yo, for retaining the belt. Like, damn, fuck Uncle Nobu for Tiger Mask going out on a L. And damn, I guess I am. Oh, I guess this one too because this one happened too. Man, fuck the Visionaries, fuck Logan Paul, fuck Maxine Dupree. Man, fuck the Street Profits for signing up again and staying there for this nonsense. Fuck American Pro Wrestling, man. I mean, fuck MJF for like kicking out of every single one of Mark Briscoe's finishers, even the Cutthroat Driver and the J Driller back to back.
Yeah.
But yeah, fuck me for being hopeful for a week. I was hopeful for Mexico, and then when Mexico lost, I was like, I mean, they were down a man, and then whatever.
But I honestly, Mexico, man, like just the individual mistakes on that. They had a man advantage, but then they just got too emotional, and then England sat back, which is understandable, but still, it hurts. For all my Mexican buddies.
Yo, that defense though from the England squad was impenetrable.
Honestly.
It was like they were playing, like they knew that Mexico was doing a blitz. It felt like a blitz play from Mexico based on how much they were attacking, like to get to the goal. But that defense, like that was superb defensive play by the English team, and it sucks for me to like talk good about the British, because who wants to talk good about the British? But goddamn, man, Henry Kane, like the whole squad, like they were down a man and they rose to the occasion.
Yeah, and at the Azteca, England just handed Mexico their third ever loss at the Azteca in 89 years. It's their first loss at their own stadium since September of 2013. And like, for me, I just don't understand what Mexico's game plan, because England were a man down. Like the obvious tactic would be to attack the flanks, create overloads. But instead, they just kept spamming crosses into the box, and bad ones at that.
It was always so off. The ball kept getting kicked outside of the goal. like there was some good shots there. The goalie, shout out to the goalie. Who's the goaltender?
Jordan Pickford,
Dude,
he was on point.
yeah, that goaltender for England was just crazy. And joining us is BJ Bethel, very nice. Hey, BJ.
Hey guys, how are you doing?
This
Good.
is Sean, man, a sports writer. Where you writing? Where were you writing before, Sean?
I don't think you saw this, but I current got a position as a contributing writer for Dirt Sheet Radio, if you've heard.
Oh no, you're just telling me right now, brother. Like hell yeah, bro. Love that for you, man. You know, I like. I'm always happy to have everybody here on the ground floor. And if you needed anybody, like if you wanted any connections, if they give you your own show, you know, that's why I put you with the rich fans. That's why I'm putting you with BJ Bethel, because I
Hmm.
always like to to hook the young people up with like
He
the
likes to bury him right off the bat, so
yeah,
he
I
sticks
like
him
to
with me.
hold you down and like like I'm the CM Punk of podcasting by like having my own group of like sycophants. God damn it.
So the discussion was I heard
We're talking
Sean mention
Mexico and
the
England right now.
yeah the goaltending in that game was insane. There was just I mean the English goalkeeper, I think his fingertips are probably a little sore after that one. He had a few of them that
Yeah.
he just got to that him and the Norway goalkeeper. I wish I knew
Oh
their names,
yeah,
but
yeah,
unfortunately,
yeah. Pickford and Nyland. Yeah. Honestly,
yes,
like
yes.
man, like that Norway Brazil game. I swear, Erling Haaland, he is not real. I was like the stuff he does. I'll be like, look at
It's
this
like,
nonchalant. Look at this nonchalant
dude,
looking Viking.
dude, it's like
Nonchalant
it's
Viking.
like you put all the sliders up on FC26 and just like let it go. That's Holland. Like right now, it's crazy. I don't, I don't, I've never seen soccer played in this way. Um, and like that was crazy. And BJ, have you ever seen a heel turn by a country in the way that Paraguay turned heel to the global
I,
community?
I tell you what,
Oh,
I'll, I didn't expect that the biggest surprise of the World Cup to be that somehow Paraguay passes the Russians on the list of hated countries. I mean, it didn't even stop at the game. One of their senators, a woman who was
oh
I don't know
yeah,
if
that
and
yeah,
she
that
was just saying
senator.
some of the
She's
most
in a whole deep of trouble.
Right.
she I'm like I don't know it's not they kept digging her. I understand gamesmanship and you're trying to get in her head, but what they did was just an absolute disgrace to sportsmanship. It was hitting Mbappe with the ball after the game, three or four guys shoving her around, trying to tear up the spot on the field. It went beyond psychology. This was just a thing where it was like, if we don't win, we're going to throw a fit and we're going to win as dirty as we can. And it's just the it was a shameful display, and I'm so glad France won that game.
Yeah,
They,
and the
they
weird thing. And the weird thing is, Paraguay, they committed 13 fouls, and weirdly, none of their players were booked for
no
some reason.
no that's another problem. I think it was with the officiating there was, and I think that's probably another big story is just the kind of we're seeing more of the officiating. It's kind of up and down, but it's like how do you have 13 penalties and no one gets a red card? I mean, they were tackling guys. I mean, it was not borderline dirty play. It was dirty play, at least in my opinion. And I mean, and you're looking at guys. I mean, there's some guys on France that are some superstars. Obviously, Mbappe, I think, is the best player in the world. But it's just you're risking somebody getting hurt in a very bad way if things are not things aren't leveled out. But man, yeah, Paraguay. Talk about the heels, man. They went full NWO in this one. They were with the ball. I'm waiting for them to bring the ball bats into the locker room and the Jimmy Hart to come running out to the field and yell for everybody to get into the back parking lot. It was just it was it was I that was one of the craziest things I've seen in sports.
Yeah.
Man,
I'm
But
not.
what did you have you guys touched on the USA
we're
Belgium
about
game
to
yet?
right now. Belgium,
Okay.
That
Belgium just bodied them, man. That was one of the most
that
efficient
was
butt kickings I've seen in soccer.
yeah that game was honestly from the U.S. That was honestly one of the worst defensive displays I have ever seen from a team on the club or international level. All the mistakes the back line made for the US, like it was just unbearable. First, the second goal, first team ring gets out, he gets out muscled
Yeah.
for the header. Then the third goal, Matt Freese gets caught out of possession, which to be fair, because the back line got exposed, so he had to come out to get the ball. But like, why did you hesitate? Just clear the ball. And then
Exactly.
the fourth was just a cap on the feather because Chris Richards tried to dribble the ball near his own penalty area. Then he got pickpocketed, leading to the fourth goal. I was like, okay, I
That
can't do this no more.
I seen some. I remember when they played Turkey. It was obviously it was a group stage, but it was a game they didn't have to win. They already clutched their spot. They'd won two, and they gave up. You could just see in their defense where they would just get rattled really easy. And this was not a World Cup caliber defense at all. I think their front. I think their offense. I think you get it in their strikers. You get it when they're on the other side of the field. They look really good. They're missing like the super. They're not where the top teams are, but I think they showed a lot of pressure. They showed some will, but their defense was beyond awful. It was an embarrassment tonight, and
Yeah.
it just showed how mental this game is, and it's about applying pressure. It's like in the football kind of parlance, it's like running it up the middle every play, then hoping you break one for 80 yards. But it's disappointing. I think Arturo, who is regularly on here, he kind of predicted, the United States would kind of bow. This would be the trouble spot for them if they were going to move on or do anything from here. It was probably going to be at this spot. But what do you? I mean, Christian Pulisic is getting ripped online.
Yeah.
For the game. He got
Yeah.
hurt again. What did you think of his? Do you think he was a villain at all in this? I don't know if. Apparently,
Yeah.
he's been playing hurt the whole time.
Yeah, him obviously he was kind of hurt, but he had to get pulled off in the 59th minute after he got hurt. But geez, this was not a good performance for Pulisic. Let's see, I'm looking at the stats on FotMob. He only had two successful dribbles out of six. Barely contributed everything defensively. He got dispossessed. I think there was a stat on Bleacher Report where it said he lost possession like 11 times or something like that. But jeez.
That's horrible. You can't win when one of your main guys is playing that bad. But
Yeah.
I just think, I mean, it's still they made the round of 16. They had a pretty, they were in front of they were in a very favorable position this whole thing. I think this was still probably a big victory for U.S. soccer. I think it really hurts that none of the North America. I think this was the year somebody expected a North American team. Somebody's expecting somebody from other Europe. Do you think this is the year Europe or South America is like they have somebody else with them in the semifinals? Maybe Asia, maybe Africa, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I thought, US. I didn't like. I know I'm a USNT guy, but sports. I'm a sports journalist. I try to be reasonable. I thought USA had a genuine chance to make it to the the quarterfinals because I mean where was this Belgium at, because they looked basically toothless for the first 85 minutes against Senegal in the round of 32, and then all of a sudden just three quick goals like that. I was like, okay, I mean, Belgium still has good players, but most of them are aging, and golden generation is still there, but it's mostly aging. They needed a late combat to come back in Senegal. I thought we could have a good chance, but
I actually thought the U.S. got a break when Belgium came back against Senegal. I thought Senegal was the better team, but
Yeah.
tonight it's
Yeah,
just Belgium really had
Yeah,
it going.
because honestly, because when I saw Senegal, I was like, oh no, I don't think we're ready for Senegal. Then Belgium's like, okay, maybe Belgium, but like today was just wow. Maybe this is karma for the Balogun red card drama.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about that.
because
It's like
Yeah,
so somebody's like, can Trump call? Hey, Trump, call him now. Maybe we can
like
get the game
like
thrown
co-
out.
I mean, we
like
we we know
yeah.
how
What an
connected
embarrassment.
the FIFA officials are to Donald Trump with that award, you know. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Well,
oh yeah,
the
and
FIFA
the
peace
Orange
prize.
Man attended today, and they're saying that's the curse of the Orange Man. So you know, it's
Oh man. Well, I mean, he was in New York where they only game the Knicks lost, and
Yes.
it took the Wu-Tang Clan getting back together at halftime the ward off the bad juju from that. Now
uh,
it's uh I don't I think it was a good run for the US. I
yeah.
don't think that they this wasn't exactly how everybody hoped it would go, but I think it was a surprise to see them as far as they did. I do think this is a much better team than they've had in the past. They look more put together.
Yeah.
There's just, for some reason on the defensive end, they were just really lacking. This was not a World Club level
Uh,
defense.
Guys, for the unofficial Kelshi bets, uh, what's that other thing that the senators are using to bet on the market? What's that one called?
Polymarket.
Oh yeah, so for the unofficial poly market Kalshi bets, DraftKings, Fanatics, Prize Picks, pick for the World Cup. What's your guys' final?
Ooh, I feel like the final it's gonna be the rematch from 4 years ago, France versus Argentina. Only this time, France gets the job done, and Mbappe takes his revenge.
France is gonna finish the story. I never thought France would be like the like one of the most cheered teams in the World Cup, but they are. The way they're playing is tremendous. And I could see that definitely
Hmm.
being like the wave. Right? That's definitely a strong finals. How about you, BJ?
Um, I tell you what, I was thinking the same. I was thinking Argentina, France, but I really think Norway's got a great shot just with Holland. I haven't watched a lot of them both. I watched I watched Norway, in around a 16 game. And they were really impressive. Holland had to score late. Um,
Yeah.
it's where she's got when you get I would have this is obviously soccer strategy, and everybody who listens to soccer knows this, but you're just pounding down the box, making sure that guys can't get opportunities. But it's like when you got a guy like Holland, it's just so hard. I'm gonna stay probably. I don't know. I'm gonna still go with France and Argentina. I think Norway versus Argentina is gonna be probably the game of the tournament. But I think France is gonna win it. I just think they got too much talent on the field. I think Mbappe's the best player in the world. I think the Western Hemisphere is behind him. I just think after seeing what Mbappe's been able to do, and some of the other members of some of the ace strikers they got on that team, and some of the talent they got there, and then honestly the way they handled themselves with this Paraguay, in the classy way, laughing it off. I think that it's ingratiated themselves to a lot of fans, and I think that's kind of where the momentum's at right now is with France. I just think it's their time, and there's a lot of talk about Killian coming over to the United States, the MLS. He's supposedly wanting to make that jump while he's in his younger years and in his prime. And, coming off a World Cup win in the United States, Mexico, Canada, wherever they decide to host the final, that would be crazy. And that would give him, he's going to be Kobe level. He's going to be Caitlin Clark level if he comes over here and plays. And
Yeah.
that's something that, if that's a decision he decides to do, that'll be fine. But I also think I think this is his time. I think he's just him and Holland are by far the two best players in the world. And I think this is just his time. I think that France is a better team than the ones that I've seen so far. And
Yeah.
they've looked really good.
Yeah, the
Uh,
fact, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, like this, like honestly, this Golden Boot race is just so amazing. The like you have obviously Mbappe and Holland, but the fact that a 39-year-old Lionel Messi kept being tied, being with all three players tied each other in the Golden Boot race with 7 goals, like come
Yeah,
on, I
and then you
thought, I
got
thought.
Harry.
I thought, well, I mean, this is supposed to this is supposed to be a passing of the torch, and Messi was like, "Nah, I'm not ready yet."
Yeah,
Not
Messi's
your time
supposed to
yet,
have been
brother. It's
giving it.
not your time.
Yeah, yeah. Messi's been supposedly handing over that, supposed to hand over the torch for about 10 years, and he's just like, I think I'm gonna keep doing my thing. I
Yeah,
remember I remember 4 years ago, people thought, oh, this is his last international tournament. Yeah,
hmm
no. And I'm right. Yeah, I think it's been a spectacular race. I think you got Messi, Holland, and Mbappe. Those are the three best in the world.
yeah.
I think
Whose torch has gone
Kane
out
too.
apparently.
Oh yeah, Ronaldo
Yeah,
and
final World Cup, unfortunately.
it. He was the biggest sports star in the world for a good decade and a half, and
hmm
obviously the injuries took his toll. I think there was a lot of people that were just like, he shouldn't have been on this team. Obviously, there was the suspension issue and other things like that. But you're not. What are you supposed to do? You're supposed to, if he wants to play on your World Cup team, you pretty much. It's like trying to tell Tom Brady he shouldn't. You shouldn't come back for that next year. He's gonna cut. These guys, they can write their own checks. I think that what's crazy to me is just how fast Messi has passed him as far as just his ability to keep playing at a high level. The injuries have been different, but I think also Messi's body, he's just a little bit bigger dude, and he's able to take a little bit of the beating. And I think you've seen, and I think you see it, and he's supposed to experience. You put all that factors together. I think you see it in these big tournaments where the wear and tear, count, where it stacks up, and it stacks up, and you can see that, you can see the difference there. And I think that's one thing. It's with Holland, he's 6'5".
Yep.
Mbappe's built like a free safety, a running back. If those two guys, those are two. Everyone talks about the U.S. athletes. Are the best athletes play in the NFL. They play in the NBA. Those two guys, if they were born in the States, could have easily been wings in the NBA. They could have been wide receivers. They could have been running backs.
BJ, you see, the big joke after England defeated Mexico was, of course, the player who broke his arm hopping the fence for the victory run.
Jordan Henderson. Oh,
Yeah,
This,
that was a kind of a freak incident. We were watching that game at home, and we saw that him just laying there on the side of the field, and it was just like, okay, I guess they're not even going to stop play to get this guy off. I'm like, it kind of reminds me of watching high school basketball in the Midwest. No broken, but no fatality, no foul, but yeah, I think he got hit into signage, and it's suffered a severe wrist injury, is what I was told.
hmm
But yeah, he managed it. Yeah, so so he seemed to be okay after that. He was hopping over and celebrating with the fans, huh?
yeah. But we talk about the age there, right? Your Ronaldos, your Messis, your Kanes. All
Yeah,
these guys are my
Neymar.
age. Oh, Neymar. I think Neymar retired, right? This is his last. That was his
Yeah,
last
Yeah.
World Cup.
Oh yeah. After the Norway game, he officially announced that he's retiring from international football.
If I was booking this as like to have like the biggest game, I'm doing Holland, I'm doing France. These are the two biggest players coming out of this, and you get to on an international stage like put put Holland in that space, and I do think that the way Norway's playing and and their momentum that they have, I think these Vikings might make it all the way in. It's a pleasure to watch him play. Like I was saying, he's like a player with all the sliders up, and him doing that and getting to the finals in the World Cup and getting the gold boot would be a tremendous story, as would France finally doing it. And that's why I'm putting it for my pick for the World Cup final of Norway and France. You can do that again on Kalshi bets. You can do that on DraftKings, on Prize Picks, on wherever you want to do it. And eventually we're definitely gonna get that ad read. So yeah, guys, we're open. All of our mailboxes are open. So go hit us up. Anyway, um, I really like what you guys have been talking about. I am not in any way a hardcore soccer fan, but I've been following this World Cup because it's been some of the most dramatic play and some of the best play, some of the best action I've been watching, and following up on the NBA Finals with this. And I get to watch my weekly Dodgers ass whipping. And if you guys are seeing me looking to the side, it's because I'm watching the Dodgers uh, run up the scoreboard against the Rockies again. So if you guys are wondering what I'm looking at, I this has been some of the best sports this year between NHL, NBA, F1, FIFA. Like it's been a real fun
Mm-hmm.
year for sports. And like BJ and I have been like talking about this on like State of Wrestling for like the longest time, is when sports can deliver you on the personalities and give you these interviews and give you these guys who are larger than life. Nothing can beat it, especially when you compare it to fake wrestling. It's not the same. And I kind of like coach like that my lacking interest in pro wrestling right now is probably tied to my high interest in actual sports. So it's it's weird.
I gotta say the same thing. Like I haven't been following wrestling at all because
Yeah,
it's like,
I have had no time for
No,
wrestling
give me
these
the real
past
sports.
2 weeks.
yeah,
Yeah. Just like give me the real sports, give me that. If I'm gonna get like drama from boxing or from MMA, that's cool too. But like the between the Spurs and the Knicks, and then this build up to the World Cup and following like Mexico and USA up into like them finally getting into these knockout round, Mexico finally getting into the knockout round and then getting knocked out. It's it you can't write these stories, right? You guys, you can't write these stories. These are things that happen. These are things that like kind of stick with you and live on in the pantheon of like, oh, this goes on in the sports history books of blah blah blah. And what makes it interesting is this is done on merit. It's done on like all these,
absolutely.
and that's what I love about sports when you get to this point. And I know this part is going on the front of my pro wrestling review podcast, whatever, all that stuff. It's fine. And BJ, you missed it, but at the opening, I just gave my saltiness for the week that is in sports and in pro wrestling. And I was cool for me to see Sami Zayn win the WWE title. It was so cool. I got in some old PWG heads, including former PWG wrestler Ultra Taro, uh, one of the
Oh
best
wow.
dudes, to come on and like we shared
Mm-hmm.
our memories about Sammy. Some of my memories of like going to the IHOP after a long ass show and like and just like saying what's up to the boys and like they're all like cool. Like Sammy and Kevin and Matt and Nick and all of them are some of the nicest guys you could ever talk to. To this day. To this day, those guys are still like super nice. So I was happy for Sammy. And then today I just like, as I'm editing the show, this is why we're doing this because I was editing the show. I see the news that CM Punk is the new WWE Undisputed Champion. And I was like, God damn it, why did I open this up? And I was like, we go back to CM Punk. We're back. Punk's back. He found one of the posts I saw was like, wow, Punk found the Fountain of Youth. Yeah, the Fountain of Youth is definitely in Tijuana. It's definitely in Hollywood where he could get like all the Botox, all the TRT, the stem cell treatments, all that. That great. He got all that. He looks better than ever, but he didn't move better than ever. He looked more. He
No.
looked more. He looked so stiff out there. It was just like, I,
Yes.
like when and Sammy hit him with like two go to sleeps that looked better than any go to sleep Punk has hit in the last 10 years, and then Punk hit him with a go to sleep that looked like one of the worst. It didn't even hit him. It hit his arms. Like if you watch it, like so all you have to do was fall, right? So all
Mm-hmm.
Sammy did was fall, and then Punk didn't even get the knee up to hit him. Like it just grazed his arm and was the finish. And I was like, oh, good, Sammy he did the whole thing with Kill Tony this year. You know, he did the whole thing of like, was it Kevin Nash and that dude from what was that? That his podcast partner were talking about him taking the pay cut and for what? A week with the title belt.
Just when we were getting our hopes up, we had what we wanted, and it was immediately taken away from us,
Yeah,
just like that.
dude,
So
it was so
just to give you
interesting.
so this is funny because I'm looking back. SkyTel on Twitter's got got a story from Mike Johnson at PW Insider. This is from June 10th, talking about over the last several days, there have been lots of unverified claims on social media of CM Punk stories that are all alleged issues between he and WWE and Punk asking for WWE's release. And speaking with a trusted WWE source today, their only comment was it has as much truth to it as the stories that claim Saudi Arabia bought us years ago. Well, it turned out they were putting in a lot of money, and they probably would have been the buyer if it hadn't been set up. While they were aware of why Punk has been off TV, the source noted there is new merchandise being put together. Punk appears this summer. So this is, as they would say, much ado about nothing. I heard he was going to take 2 months off and come back. I do know that the thing is with Punk in this situation is everybody's got backstage issues now because of how they've handled these contracts and the pay cuts. But
Restructures.
somebody just to get this, Sami Zayn's had the title. I mean, how long do you end up having a title? 2-3 weeks?
9 days.
9 days.
9 days.
Yes,
less
9
than
days.
less than not even a week and a half. And
Yes.
that's what he gets for that's what he gets for all the work he's put in, and and he didn't go to the other company. He stayed. And Grant, let's say AEW would have loved to have Sami Zayn. It's just such a bad call.
Yeah.
Um,
You know
I
who
think-
allegedly did not want to do a pay cut? It's a shameful thing. Lobster Head.
I like the wordplay.
I wish, oh man, if he bought the song for himself, like Edge bought hit, like Adam Copeland bought his song, he's set. No matter where he works, if that song hits and it's him, he's set. He'll be a song guy, an entrance guy, and he's still able
Yeah.
to work. I've seen him work like over the last couple of years. He's had a banger after banger after banger, that's his catchphrase now. BJ, that's his catchphrase. But I think Sheamus at 48, he's somebody that you could bring in, hopefully to like work with the younger guys and give them a name to like go over. But that's not normally what you see from the older talent. Usually, older talent goes somewhere and ends up becoming the world champion. What's up, Nick? What's up, Nick Nemeth? And
yeah.
it's
I think with him, he has a lot of friends that are going back and investing in the wrestling in Great Britain,
Yeah.
in Europe. I wouldn't be surprised if he becomes part of that little scene there, trying to help. I mean, this is a guy who's made a ton of money. He's been a main eventer for a long, long time. And to be honest, I'm kind of glad he stood up for himself. It's just,
Yeah.
We've talked about this incessantly. They're getting into what you would call the guaranteed money in these cuts, and it's just, there's no sense for it. This is a company making, more money than God right now, and just to satisfy, Ari Emanuel, Mark Shapiro, and some shareholders. I mean, that's just bad business.
BJ,
I don't.
that audio that came out of Ari talking about he was talking about the Department of Justice lawyers working for Latham and how we could handle it, and like having the actual audio of that just shows you the depravity of TKO and this company and how well connected and how the investigation in Vince McMahon has been a sham.
This story is, well, if you've seen, Janelle Grant's been posting a lot of the readouts from the depositions, right?
Yeah.
And in that, Michelle McKenna, former WWE board member, talks about how, well, when you saw the photos, the messages, the this or that, what did you think? Did you think this was an affair? And they go, no, I thought this was sexual abuse. And Nick Khan was available, aware of how bad the stuff was, said it was a sexual abuse. If you go back to 2022, when WWE said that they were investigating this, they said there was no signs of any sexual abuse or anything like that in any of this stuff. So they flat out lied again. They lied again. And I don't know why any judge or any lawyer would want to do business with them at this point, because this is happening at the same time that you have the UFC case, and they lied in that. They were deleting signal chats in that case. You have the shareholder case where they're doing that. They've been busted lying about the Janelle Grant situation incessantly. It's just mind-boggling. I think it's another thing is when WWE still takes up a ton of the wrestling ecosystem, and their fans, their people, they're putting their fingerprints on everything, whether it's commentary about AEW, whether it's how fans react to AEW. They're steering the entire ecosystem unfairly, in my point of view. And I think part of the reason why you're seeing people like us go back to actual real sports is just because of the stench of that place.
Yeah,
this is a company.
We're just tired of all the drama. That's basically it, man.
Well, it's hard to watch a company. It's hard to watch a fake wrestling company when you know how this sausage has been made and how bad it is to watch. Like at some point, it's like, okay, I can't just turn off my rationality meter in my head and just enjoy the wrestling on WWE when you see Brock Lesnar come out, you see Lee Fitting's name at the end of the credits.
Every show.
Every show when they're doing tributes to Vince all the time. It's ridiculous. I don't really know how people stomach the company at this point. It's just a nauseous situation, but other people will feel differently, but yeah, that's just another thing that came up. It's the messages that were part of that as well, and I think the interesting thing about that was you actually got to hear Ari Emanuel's voice.
Yeah,
and that's kind of a different deal with all of this. And I think it's important because nowadays a lot of these guys, you don't hear much from them. You don't see much of them. I mean, when's the last time you saw Mark Zuckerberg? It's only when he's been before Congress. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk. Elon Musk is on TV a lot only because he wants to be. But the other guys, they're never up to public scrutiny. You never get to see what they're really like or hear what they're doing. And it's like, do you get to hear Ari Emanuel, who's a guy that's trying to control Hollywood right now, sitting there telling another billionaire how he's going to try to fix his case with using his lawyer buddies from Latham Watkins at the DOJ. It's just, this isn't how things are supposed to work in a democracy. And that's the end of my soapboxing for tonight.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I can feel that. Like I said at the top, some of the results from the New Japan Road to G1 show, because we got the G1 Night 1 show in Chicago coming up in Chicago, July 11th, available on New Japan World. Yes, I will take a paycheck from you, New Japan World. I'll take a paycheck from TV Asahi, Saber Agent. Hit your boy up. Definitely will do that. I'm very interested in how the G1 plays out for this first outing in Chicago. They did about they crossed about 5,000 tickets for Chicago on a show with zero luchadors, zero guests. Really, these are all guys under New Japan contract, including Takeshita and Gabe Kidd. Gabe Kidd is not working this show, but it's just a lot of Japanese talent from the heavyweight division, and that's it. All of these matches are tournament matches. I am excited for Jake Lee because he got that he got that passport, which means he no longer is subject to Juche and the North Korean limitations on their passport. So congrats to Jake Lee. And if you're not a Jake Lee fan, prepare to watch a lot of Jake Lee because that man has a passport, and that means that man is probably getting pushed hard. So.
Oh yeah, he's getting that push.
He's getting that push. I try to warn people, like if Cyber Agent's coming, and one of the things that Cyber Agent did when they took over Noah was bring in Jake Lee and bring in Great Muto, and we're starting to see signs of some things right there. So Guys, you better learn some silent gesturing, because it's about to be some silent gesture time. I talk about the G1 because Gabe Kidd, because Gabe Kidd, of course, defeated Shota Umino for the IWGP Global Heavyweight Championship. I think that guy held it for about maybe a month and had one defense against Pac last week.
He had 20 days. He lasted 20
Hey,
days.
at least he had a longer run than Sammy did. But oh
How many
man,
did this? Was this Sammy's only defense
yeah.
tonight, or did he have one last week?
Yes, this was tonight's match versus Punk. That was Sami Zayn's first and unfortunately last ever title
It
defense.
was.
Yeah, he'll probably never. This is the shortest title reign since 2021 when the Miz held it for about, I think it was 9 days as well.
It's the shortest title reign since Rey Mysterio in 2011, which I am still very peeved about.
Why did John Cena beat a man that went through a 4-man tournament that went to like 4 matches and he's like, okay, I'll face you. Like, how was that?
You really couldn't let him have this moment. Like,
Hey.
come on.
It's you and
I don't
our good friend
understand, 'cause
Wooster,
it's
same
like-
feeling. Yeah,
That doesn't help. Is you had a lot of people coming out and try to say Sammy's not a draw, he's not a main eventer, he doesn't look like I saw that.
Yeah.
Vince Russo, the guy who's never wrong about anything, just everything. He was saying that Sammy's not a heavyweight, he doesn't look like a heavyweight, which that doesn't mean. Rey Mysterio is one of the most popular wrestlers they've had the last 15, 20 years. I mean, he's 160 pounds. I don't get them thinking, but it's, I'm glad Sammy, at least he got the belt, I guess. I honestly didn't think he was ever going to win it. And I mean, he was the most ever babyface in wrestling for a good year and a half, and he wouldn't put the belt on him. And, I think the circumstances only worked this time because, Roman had the other belt, and I think Cody's probably willing to drop a belt, a lot more willingly than anybody else. Certainly more than CM Punk. We'll see what happens with that.
Yeah,
but apparently he beat him with a hell of a kick. Then Punk hit him with a hell of a kick, and then
he didn't hit him, by the way, BJ. He hit him with the haluva kick, and he was supposed to avoid. So the finish was like he was supposed to avoid a haluva kick, but it looked like he ate it because CM Punk has the quickness of a cat without the use of his hind legs, and oh man,
at least he wasn't on the top rope this time.
Yeah.
I mean, he hangs in there all right, but what am I saying? He's a mess. But he gets on the top rope, it turns into a nightmare. It's like,
yeah, but now, what does this mean? What does this mean for the SummerSlam plans? Because for me, my thought process, okay, so maybe Sammy is gonna hold this until maybe SummerSlam, and maybe Reign, maybe Cody can get a chance, but I'm just so confused because Oba Femi's going against Brock in Hell in a Cell. What I really would have liked, maybe Femi wins and then the next day challenges Roman, but Roman is going to be facing Seth Rollins once again. And look, I know those two have good chemistry, but do we really need another Reigns versus Rollins match? Because we kind of seen this story before.
We saw this story 4 years ago, man.
2014.
Yeah.
So what is it if you're watching WWE wrestling? What all do you need to forget about right now? One, that Brock Lesnar retired.
Yeah.
Two, that John Cena retired.
The John Cena Classic.
Yes, you have to forget that. You got to forget that.
I have not heard not a single man, because when was it announced? 2 months ago, and there's barely any follow up on it since.
Oh, not once. I haven't heard anything. I don't even. It's just such a mess there, and I don't know. It should be. What's ridiculous to me is maybe you got a better perspective on this or not, but I don't. I think everybody's saying this is TKO storytelling. I think it's just cover for.
It's
I think it's cover. I think they're definitely having some pull with what's going on, but I think a lot of that's. I don't really think TKO cares much about what happens in the bottom of the card. You know, who's screwing that
I
up?
bet Ova versus Brock airs on ESPN.
I think it's going to air on ESPN. There's no way that's gonna go into like ESPN Unlimited or anything like that.
Because ESPN's going to get their value out of it. They want ratings from it in some way, and I think they do get more out of it from the television airing than they do from the app airing. Like literally, because they'll get the advertising dollars from the WWE airing on their network, even though those advertisements for the WWE shows aren't that well. But that's what I think. This is definitely
You can
an
see
ESPN
how
match.
you can see how well WWE's doing on the app by the number of advertisements they slam into the PLE.
Yeah,
I mean,
jeez.
it's just getting. It looks like YouTube AAA after it's been recorded now.
Yeah.
I mean, you go 2 moves and there's a commercial.
Oh man,
And
YouTube AAA is unwatchable. It's unwatchable.
yeah,
Definitely watch the
well,
Fox broadcast on wherever you can watch the Fox broadcast. Not saying where you can watch wrestling, but watch wrestling.
APN. But
I mean,
so Sean,
just,
what do you think of the AEW title scene right now? We got obviously MJF, Kenny Omega match.
dang it.
The winner likely main events All In against Will Ospreay.
BJ, do you think that MJF lost his smile?
Unless he's been to Syracuse and pissed off some Marines, I don't know. But
yeah.
I don't know. We'll see what happens. I think MJF's a happy guy there. I think he's definitely a happy guy.
Yeah, but like to your point, BJ, the AEW World Championship is stacked because everybody is gonna come after everybody's coming after him, and there's rumors. I mean, well, I don't know rumors, but MJF has been working, with a supposed knee injury, so everyone's questioning, oh, so when is he gonna drop the title? Is it gonna be at Redemption? Because it's in Canada, so we could get Kenny Omega versus MJF. I think, match number 3 because they had 2 previous ones,
Yes.
the one at Dynasty and the one they had in Collision in 2023. Because for me, I mean, the obvious route is quite simple. It has to be Omega versus Ospreay. I mean, it makes sense. Omega wins the title in Canada, then Ospreay, it's in his hometown. We still need to get the 3rd match in the trilogy after Wrestle Kingdom 17 and Forbidden Door.
You guys want to know how many tickets Kenny that Will Ospreay moved from after winning the Owen Hart invitation, the Owen Hart Cup?
Oh God, I'm scared to hear it.
So
I'm scared.
there was all this news about a big boost in ticket sales for All In London, and the big boost, 769 tickets have been sold.
Oh, that is bad.
That was the big
So
boost.
what's the total up to now? That's 26,000.
Yeah, 26,000. And they would have to
virtually no change.
Thank you for this, Trish, who gave me this stat, but they would have to sell about 145 tickets a day until August. Was it August 29th? Is that show, right? Until August 29th to get to at least 35K.
Oh yeah, hold on. Let me make sure you got the show right. No, August 30th.
August 30th. So yeah, they'd have to sell 145 tickets a day to get to that.
Do you guys think if they announce an Omega Will Ospreay matchup that'll finally get the juices rolling? Or do you think
No, they'd have to
at this point?
They'd have to if they were gonna run this match, they should have had Kenny win the belt at Destiny. Then you would have had about 6 months of build towards this dream match that was going to happen. And instead, you're having Death Rider Billy with a Death Rider patch on his tights now.
Yeah.
I think that really threw his story off. I think it was interesting, but I think leading to this match, it
Yeah,
just hasn't been very clear.
because honestly, I mean the death, because I mean I was really interested in this whole Will Ospreay Death Rider storyline because they were trying to make him like slow down because his high fly style was eventually going to get him in trouble, and then like the training helped. It paid off. He won the Owen Hart Cup in Forbidden Door, and I was like, okay, that's good. So like that's some good storytelling. But then Moxley offers him a place in his group, and was like, okay, wait a minute, now this just throws a completely different wrench. Because I thought this was just training.
Yeah.
Where did joining the group come from?
And then the group joins in with the dogs to beat up all the faces at the end of Collision. After playing babyface for like the entire week. No, actually, they're not. It's
I think that's where I think they kind of hit missing people. Like Will's supposed to be a white meat total baby face, and then you got the Death Riders helping. I mean, Mox has always walked a line, and that's fine. There's a lot of guys who basically they just were heel or face based on where they were put at.
yeah, like Lex Luger.
Roddy Piper, they didn't change his personality. Ric Flair didn't change his personality at all if he was heel or face, but this is completely different.
Yeah.
It doesn't. This wasn't done very well, I don't think. This is one of the few things they haven't done well in a long time. The ratings have been pretty strong.
Yeah, the ratings have been strong for.
I don't know what the buy rate ended up being for Forbidden Door, but
it was like 150, I believe. It was.
That's great.
Yeah, they're doing really well for themselves. Let me make sure before I move on. I want to make sure like I got that right because I think that's what Dave said on the Observer. That's like the early numbers. Which yeah, I think he said like let me verify.
Let's see. I'm not sure, but it looks like they have it. Preliminary numbers had it trailing every AEW pay-per-view this year.
Trailing.
So
okay.
But let's see. Here's from the Observer. Ian Carey at the Observer. It's Quake and Dave from the newsletter says he didn't have an estimate for the pay-per-view buys, but the numbers he's seen indicate the Forbidden Door is trending to be AEW's lowest pay-performing pay-per-view in 2026.
Oh, yeah, never mind. Never mind about the 150. I think the 150 is for last year. But I think for
Dynasty did 145,000,
yeah.
So it would be a little
it's
lower
not
than that.
It's not 150, so it would have to be lower than the 150. Because I was looking at his tweet. It says, "Do you think that AEW will be above 150 or below 150 of the buy rate?" And I responded below. So,
I think this concern is like, okay, well, you have the issues with the all-in ticket pie, which I think are probably as much economical or anything, and it's like you also had a pay-per-view that was headlined with an excellent Swerve versus Will Ospreay match. I think the other issue is we don't have Hangman Page.
Yeah.
He's the protagonist.
Well, where is he?
It's apparently he's, I don't know. Where is he? He's sitting at home.
Washing his tights.
I think it's like you're getting ready to go into one of your biggest shows ever without your biggest ace. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, I like Hangman. I like Swerve. So Swerve lost the Owen, and then he was persona non grata this week on Collision and Dynamite. So maybe he'll pop up on Ring of Honor again, looking for power. But I don't know what they're doing on booking wise, but apparently it's working for the audience that they're cultivating. I think doing this world title match on TV is pretty bold, but BJ, you think that some movies might come out next year?
What's that?
You think that there might be some movies that are being made?
I think we might see some. I think there's probably been a lot of production work done in Hollywood.
Yeah,
Even though I was told nope.
But
But um,
I think that
Sean's got no idea what we're talking
yeah,
about. He's like, you guys are really,
we
you guys
have
are
we
really
have to be
okay. Never.
careful, Sean, because we might get some heat on that. But I think that running this match on free TV is very bold. And like I think
Mhm.
Tony had like a conference call today. He had like an interview today with Case Lowe of Q101 in Chicago. Shout out to Case. Shout out to Open the Voice Gate, even though you heard Case talk so low about Dragon Gate recently. Man, see, look, it's not just us here talking about our falling out with pro wrestling while our interest in sports is at an all-time high. It's also guys like Case, who's a huge fan of Dragon Gate, and his interest in Dragon Gate has been low. And hey, that's a name pun right there. I think that it's very interesting that he's doing these choices to get these ratings grabs, and I'm damn interested in why he's trying to do these rating grabs. But it tends to be working for him, and especially in a company that only relies on most of its money coming from the pay-per-view and from the television contracts. If these
Yeah.
television shows and pay-per-views are doing well, then he's doing the right thing.
They have. Well, they're gonna have. AEW has to have world title matches on
Yeah,
the show sometimes. That's
Yeah.
it's too important to their deal. It's too important with their Warner relationship,
they're in a contract
especially
year. Next year, it's a contract
with the
year.
merger stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. Next year will be the third if their option isn't picked up. Um, I think that I think that putting MJF and Omega on Wednesday night, I think is a great idea. I really think it is. If you give them the time, put them in the main event. I wouldn't start them out with a show. I would do them later.
yeah.
Um,
You could really
and
build a show off of that.
but I think you got to really examine and think, okay, we got a lot of great talent here, but our guys are Swerve, our guys are Hangman, our guys are Omega, our guys are MJF, our
Yeah,
guys are Moxley. Moxley's storyline's been very convoluted
Yeah.
lately.
and don't forget, Hangman can't challenge for the world title anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
After,
they have, and last time we saw him was how long ago?
Yeah.
And that was the step, and it's like they have never addressed that
And
since.
then I'm
yeah,
wondering,
Even though
like
they
what?
keep bringing it up.
I'm wondering how they're
And you
gonna.
also have, where's Eddie Kingston comes back from injury. It's like he's not even come back.
Yeah.
It's like he's doing Ring of Honor, but it's like this is a guy who was like close to being in main event.
Mhm.
It's like he's the best talker. He's one of the fan
He-
favorites. Is like,
He had a
what are
pretty
you
good
doing
match with
him?
Samoa Joe too, and then after that, he was off TV. I was like,
Yeah,
yeah,
like
what? Like,
come on.
I like, and then like I'm thinking about the guys on like the next level who've been there for like the last 3 years. I'm talking about Okada. I'm talking about Andrade. I'm talking about Fletcher. I'm talking about Takeshita. And now he's there. I'm talking about Kevin Knight. What are we gonna do with these guys to get them into like the top level, or is Okada at his ceiling where he's at? Like,
Yeah,
what are
I
we doing here with the greatest wrestler of all of like the last decade? Is he just gonna be this
It's a great
jokes guy?
question.
yeah, because honestly, I want to see I want to see that New Japan Okada back.
Yeah,
Yeah, we haven't
because
really seen that. I don't even know if we can get that guy. He's he just took a beating. But the thing is with the Takeshita match, you don't have to get the 7-star Okada back to get amazing
oh yeah,
stuff out of
those two have
him.
such great chemistry, and they're
Oh
they're
yeah,
not even giving you everything, and that's because of like
Yeah,
they know how to play to the heartstrings, and they know the emotional plays on that,
yeah.
because both guys were trained like in that. Okay, this is gonna sound weird, but like Okada was trained in like the sports entertainment style. That's what we see from the Dragon system. Is these guys know how to work an emotional match, and Showa has Takeshita, who came from that DDT style, and they also work on emotion and trying to build to these spots instead of like here's the big match, the big dramatic match. They can't have that match on the AEW pay per view. They
Yeah.
can't, because like it's in the pay-per-view format. They have to make sure that they don't like make they don't kill the crowd. Oh, I know it's crazy. You can have a great match and that absolutely kills the crowd for the next couple matches, which unfortunately happened for them because they unfortunately did such a great match that the crowd kind of like petered off after that. And
Yeah.
like that's their level. Those two are guys who can be put at the top of the card. And Okada like can be there. He has been there. And for the last year, like Takeshi has been there for New Japan. And I am just interested, you know, in other things that they're doing because we're talking about Mexico and the World Cup, right? I was reading
Mhm.
Yeah.
some really crazy things like AEW, like I think MJF said AEW should run Azteca next year for All In, and I'm like, excuse me,
I'd love
I
that.
would love that, but
Wow.
excuse
The
me,
CMLL,
they,
absolutely.
I think that CMLL could sell out that card. Well, we talked about it, BJ, right? So we told you, like we had that conversation, me, you, Arturo, and Roy had that conversation of
Yeah.
why CMLL is such a success. Their connection with the Department of Tourism and all those
Yeah.
travel businesses that funnel the fans, the tourists to Arena Mexico. By the way, that's not happening for the AEW Grand Slam in August. They have still sold only 5,100 tickets, and they're selling them at 7 times the cost of the usual. So they are not bringing in your usual CMLL fans. They are
Mhm.
bringing in
The tourists.
they're bringing in tourists.
Taurus.
They're bringing in the rich people because I did the math. Shout out to you, Tay. Like we did the math with each other. We're like looking at how the ticket sales are. Ticket sales are slumping because they're charging $36 a ticket for their nosebleeds. Typical nosebleeds for Arena Mexico for Super Viernes, $5. So
36
Wow.
$36 for nosebleeds. Oh Lord.
that's like about a seven time increase for the nosebleeds. And we're talking
Yeah.
about like the typical people who attend are families, people in the area, and tourists. Tourists usually that's what you see on the lower bowl. That thank you for that, Roy. BJ. I love that episode with Roy. We got so much insight into how the how lucha works and the how the drawing works for for AAA and CMLL. And mind you,
Yeah.
for
It's a totally different way.
Grand Slam, they're not really selling too fast. Neither is WWE Raw or SmackDown. Those are not going anywhere because they charging like those are insane prices for the Mexican fans. What did sell out, even though they're selling at similar prices, have been the Anniversario card, Lucha Lucha Kingdom, and Triple Mania Ciudad, and that's because the Mexican fan base wants to watch those wrestlers because they want to see CMLL. They don't want to watch Triple A. And they want to watch CMLL versus New Japan. And this is just interesting to see that. And I say it's a nice sentiment to think of not Triple A, AEW in Arena Azteca, right? It's a great sentiment. But they cannot sell 35K. They can't sell 30K right now to Wembley, which has been like, the UK has routinely been like a hotbed for wrestling, and we see like guys who go to shows for like the WWE shows for the last two all-ins where they kind of had like, 70,000, 50,000, and now we're down to hopefully 35,000. I keep getting told on X, relax. They're gonna do 50,000. It's gonna be great. Relax. It's gonna be 40,000. It's gonna be great. Relax. It's gonna be 35,000, and you just gotta like hope. They stopped telling me to relax now, so that's something. And
That means they're getting worried.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, I hate to kick this back, but I got to get your guys' opinion on something, and I'm sure you've probably talked about it.
yeah,
You guys either wrote about it or talked about it, but the controversial, which wasn't a controversial, it was a great match. The Mercedes
loved it,
versus Maya World match.
loved it.
Dave has been caught up in some controversy over it because I guess he didn't see it as it didn't get a lot of crowd reaction in the arena where he was at, but I guess he's got to take some time to
Like
see what's going on with it.
I
Because I mean he usually reviews anything he sees live on TV anyway.
yeah,
But do you think some of this Mercedes is kind of
she's egging it
goofing
on.
with Dave on it too. She's egging it on. She wants her 5-star match.
Mm-hmm.
Which I mean, I think the controversy over this is stupid. for one thing, I'll say this. I think Mercedes has had plenty of 5-star matches.
Yeah.
I also think people don't understand how the rating system works, which is really a quarter star here and there. There's a indistinguishable.
I honestly think Meltzer doesn't even know his own rating system.
Yeah, because things go up to 7 stars.
He goes with his gut.
Yeah.
Like, how does it rate these things, man? It'd be so inconsistent sometimes.
BJ, the weirdest quote from him was like, "This match was not for me. It was super violent. 5 stars for Hangman versus Swerve in the cage match Texas Death." I was like, huh. Okay, that's cool. I mean,
well, he's actually taking stars off matches too because of injuries and violence. Like the Shibata Okada match where Shibata almost died probably would have been a 6-star, 5.5-star match. Except for it had the needless headbutts to bottom.
Yeah, and we know all about Dave and the Ibushi and Naito matches where he was like, I can't watch this.
Because sometimes, like ever since 2023, I've been doing my top 10 favorite wrestling matches of the year. Like 2024, that was the all out the Hangman versus Swerve steel cage match. I was originally gonna put it in my top 3, but then Swerve had to take that needle right on the inside his lip. I was like, no.
Same here. I thought some of that feud was just insanely stupid.
I thought, okay, what the heck, man? I'm not naive. I can get down with the hardcore stuff, but this. No, I can't get down with that. This seems like you're just doing this for kicks.
I'm like, when did Hangman get certified as a dental hygienist, and where is he putting Novocaine into Swerve's mouth right now? I'm just like, well, what is this? But I think that as we talk about ratings and opinions, right? They're our own, and everybody's allowed to feel how they feel about them. If Dave says, like, when he was watching it there in his section, it wasn't as loud, and he felt like the crowd was more into Thekla versus Starlight Kid, and they were really into that match. That was also a really good match. But I think that there's a lot of hate that's being fanned towards Dave, and it's been like that for like the last couple of years, from wrestlers, from pundits, from like grifters trying to make a name off of Dave. It's all of that, and Mercedes definitely knows what she's doing. Like,
oh yeah.
So it's
the thing is, Dave's even said this, and everybody, Mercedes is the greatest American women's wrestler that's ever lived.
Yeah,
I mean, she is. There's nobody she's everything Ric Flair and Okada is, and she might be the best heel psychologist in the ring, male or female, that I've seen in the last 10 years, and. But I also think people really need to relax. I think her match ratings were kind of hurt because she was in WWE for so long.
Absolutely.
And you look at the matchup she was given, and they purposely tanked her a lot of the time. They had her in kind of like blase babyface roles, or they're putting her in the tag division with Bayley, where those two could just do anything. But then they're putting them against people straight out of NXT. I just think that. You take that 5 or 6 years back, then that's a lot. I would give the TakeOver match they had 5 stars. I think she's had a few 5-star matches, but
she was able to get 4 stars.
It's just a matter of opinion.
She was able to get 4 stars out of Alexa Bliss, my man. Out of Alexa Bliss.
And Alexa just that's insane. But it's I think she's had some 5-star matches in my opinion. I just think people need to relax a little bit of it. There's this thing that's been on Dave for a while, especially since the stupid Chris Van Vliet interview where, Chris can't get his gumption up to ask hard questions if he's got Triple H on after, it's like your father-in-law's in a federal, and your company's, your father-in-law and your boss is in a federal criminal investigation, but we're going to not ask him any questions about that. But when Dave Meltzer comes on, I'm going to drill him about why Kurt Angle hasn't had any 5-star matches. And it's like, well, go watch Raw and see how long his matches were. Go watch Raw and see who he was wrestling for most of the time. Yeah, he was great, but it's like he was. I mean, if you're
BJ,
the competition wasn't that great.
BJ, you want to see Kurt Angle 5-star matches? Go ask Scott Keith about 5-star matches. Go go ask Wade Keller about which matches are 5-star. Like there's more reviewers out
Yeah,
there than
Keith was. Keith's ratings were shared more in the early days of the internet because Dave's stuff was in a newsletter.
yeah.
And the reason why this is the thing, the reason why Dave's star rating survived and no one cares about Wade's or anybody else's is because Dave's were better. He understands wrestling better. He understands the psychology of it better. And I understand, and I know this because I've talked to people in the wrestling business. That's why those ratings matter to the wrestlers. If he was an idiot, nobody would care about this. Nobody would care what he has to say.
Absolutely.
But they care because he knows what he's talking about.
Yeah, if you don't think the boys in all locker rooms throughout the world aren't waiting for the observer after their match, you are insane because these guys vanity search everything, and that's why MJF responded to a post I made where I didn't even talk about him, where I didn't even say his name. So if you don't think that they're looking like for these match ratings and looking for like disapproval from specifically Dave Meltzer because of what cachet it holds to them and the guys in that fraternity, you are very mistaken. These guys care very much about it. Even though a guy like Seth Rollins says he doesn't care, he absolutely cares. And because there's a point of pride to get that, Dave. Just like there's a point of pride to end up on Botchamania if you do like a really bad botch. Some guys are really they're hyped to be on Botchamania. I'm not gonna name them, but you know who you are.
Yeah, I can't get into that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just, to me, it's like, I don't know. I think it's cheap shotting. It's like, I want you to go out, stand out in front of 10,000. I want to see somebody go. I want to see some of these, fat ass basement dwellers go out, stand out in a ring in front of 100 people, even in a backyard, and try to do something that's athletic and on the fly, or even if it's a spot, then you can talk to me about botches.
Absolutely. BJ,
I'm just not into it. That's a nerdy.
yeah.
That's some of the nerdy bullshit I hate. But.
Yeah. On the rest of this episode, because like this is a review episode that I've done. I mean, we talked Night of Champions here. I talked to a couple of guys, Ultra Taro of Rev Pro and PWG fame, and promoter of Epic Pro LA. Andrew, they're actually doing a show for Epic Pro LA out in Baldwin Park on August 29th, where the big match, of course, is going to be Alpha Zoe versus Bad Dude Tito in a battle of kaiju, just two big beefy dudes. Also, we got Royce Isaacs defending the Epic Pro title in a match, and they're gonna reveal some matches there following this, as you're gonna hear this. 'Cause this was an update to a show that I had primed and ready to go until I saw these results today, and I had to get this saltiness out in some way because I'm not recording the rest of the week. And I really do want to thank BJ and Sean for being here for humoring me and doing this. We did a little bit of sports ball today. We did a little bit of sports ball, guys. It's fine to watch sports, just like it's fine to watch wrestling. And I just had this. I just had to put this at the front because I had to get my saltiness out there. And once again, I'm gonna repeat myself. And but first, I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and do your plugs because Sean, I really love that you found a new job, man. Really happy for you. And where can people find you, man?
So as always, you can follow me on Facebook. You can at Sean Paul. You can follow me on Instagram at lphantasmo_SPG, all lowercase. You can follow me at Twitter. Twitter. I don't call it X. You can follow me on Twitter at Forza FORZASPG, and you can also follow like you said, I got like the position contributor with Dirt Sheet Radio. Things are just getting settled in because website stuff, but we're all good to go. All good to go now. currently trying to get my first article up. My top 10 favorite matches of 2026 so far. And spoiler alert, El Grande Americano versus El Grande Americano OG is number one. So,
Okay, man.
yeah, quick spoiler.
Oh God. Oh yeah. And BJ, where can people find you? Also, you know what? Damn you, Grande Americano, for attending that Mexico game. You fucked Mexico, man.
I knew you were gonna say something like that.
Oh my God, I was waiting for that. Yeah, he was a big celebrity on Fox TV during the broadcast. Yeah, you can get me at BJ Bethel Tweets on Twitter. Also, bbethel on Substack. You can get it at bbethel.substack.com. You can also check out my latest work on the Rent Free podcast with Ruben. I just finally finished the Hulk Hogan documentary, and we'll be talking some business of the business. So if you guys want to listen to that, please feel free.
Yeah, we could also catch BJ here on all of these shows on the prescription, from SMES to State of Wrestling to Roundball Rock Rap to our we're soon going to be releasing the first part of the 30 years of the J Crown series, where we're talking about Super J Cup 94. That's coming to everybody out there soon, so look out for that. I've been told to do this. So today we're doing and I don't really do hype for shows coming up, but since there's 3 shows in a row coming out, right now you're listening to the review for Night of Champions, for AEW, the live reaction for AEW, because Taro actually went to AEW for New Japan, CMLL, Stardom, Forbidden Door, and he gives his live report on that, and gives you guys some really good stories on Sammy and Generico and all of them in PWG. But we also got on here 24 years of TNA. It's the 24th anniversary of the founding of TNA, with Slammiversary happening over the weekend. Last weekend. So you're going to get us talking all about that. And finally, we're celebrating 20 years of Sendai Girls. The big show is going to be July 12th, and we're definitely be talking about that in the next week. But we did a little bit of a summary of 20 years of Senjo, and of course we talked Stardom, the Convergence. I want to thank BJ, and I want to thank Sean for being here on the show. But BJ, you missed this part, so I thought I would give it to you, because X is gonna give it to you, but Doc gonna give it to you. Fuck you, CM Punk. Fuck you, Stem Cells. Fuck you, Chicago. Fuck you, Cody Rhodes. Fuck you, Gunther.
Rerun.
Fuck you, Ari Emanuel. Fuck you, WWE. Fuck you, Vince McMahon. Fuck you, FIFA. Fuck you, Paraguay. God, fuck you, Grande Americano. Fuck you, fuck you, the defense of the England soccer team. God damn it. Fuck Belgium, man. Fuck Belgium waffles. Fuck the US team, just absolutely quitting today. And fuck me for
what about Paraguay? Don't forget Paraguay.
Oh yeah, fuck Paraguay.
Yeah.
For being one of the dirtiest. That was one of the dirtiest games.
One of the dirtiest display of football I've ever seen. No. It was not football out there. That was full on MMA. Yeah. That's what it was.
Oh my God, that was flagrant. And
it looked like a WNBA game.
Oh God. Yeah, it looked like they were abusing Caitlin Clark there. For more on that, you guys should listen to our.
Bobby knows what Caitlin Clark feels like.
Yeah. For more on that, listen to last week's episode of Roundball, where me, BJ, Tay, Arturo, and friend of the show, my mentor, Garrett Gonzalez, go ahead and talk about so many things from the trades to the World Cup to WNBA to me going to the Dodgers and Padres game. Just all this fun stuff.
Yeah.
I do a lot here. You could also hear like Sean on a bunch of other things I've done here. But thank you to the audience for listening. Enjoy the rest of the show, and thank you guys. Good night. Thank you for joining me for this opening part of the Mega Review Show. Oh, go ahead.
Yep. Speaking of trades, the Celtics got fleeced. Yeah. Just want to say that.
Jaylen Brown? How the fuck? They got nothing for
Except
that
for
guy.
Paul George.
For Paul George, my God.
Broadcast peak.
Oh man.
Why do
The rap
teams keep falling for this?
I don't know. The Raptors got a hell of a deal for Kawhi. Like I gotta say that.
Yeah, that.
And
Oh, okay.
and now Rui has to move across town to go to the as he's now joined the Clippers on a 2-year contract. Uh, you know, the just like, my Lakers got gentrified, man. They got purchased by new owners and they're gentrified. What is this? What we're gonna have like 5 white starters for the Lakers if Gibson wasn't there, and Gibson's not a guarantee to be a starter. Holy shit. Holy shit. My Lakers are so white and I'm here for it? What the fuck? I'm here for it. What am I saying? But yeah, man, thank you, Sean, for coming on this. This is awesome, dude. Congrats on the new job, and
Thank you.
yeah, enjoy the rest of the show, and I'll see you guys next time.
Oh, you should know that I had you on my secret admirer. I've been watching you. Should I swing my way? Sure look good to me. Now would you pick me to swing my way? Should I swing my way?
Hello, hey guys. So I have with me here Tom Fleming, comic book artist, cover artist, comic book trading card artist. You may have seen his work on heavy metal. You might have seen his work on Marvel and DC Comics. You might have seen his work on wrestlers such as Razor Ramon. Tom, great to have you here.
Well, thank you. It's great to be here.
So you're gonna be at an event at the end of July, right?
Yep. GalaxyCon Raleigh. It's been my staple show. It's my closest show that I do to where I live in Wilmington, North Carolina, and I look forward to it every year, and they take really good care of us.
Absolutely. What can people look for on that show that you're gonna bring?
So at that show, that's one of my, that's my full setup. I have everything from my framed G Clay canvases to prints on photo luster paper, my full line of superhero, Marvel, DC, and fantasy art. So yeah, it's pretty much everything. My full line of everything, including some original art. Sometimes I even bring the legendary original art for the 93 Survivor Series, the one that we spoke of in the interview with Lex Luger. I still have those paintings, so sometimes I put them on display also.
I love this stuff. I love this stuff. And where can people go again? This is going to be the Raleigh Comic Con?
Yeah, this is GalaxyCon Raleigh.
Right.
And they're all over social media. So if you want more information, just go on Facebook or Instagram and stuff, and they do daily posts on all the artists and media guests.
Okay. And if people wanted to follow you and like see your art, where can people do that?
Okay, the TomFlemingArtwork.com is the website. Tom Fleming Art on Facebook, or Tom Fleming, but you would have to send me a friend request. And then on Instagram, it would be Tom Fleming Art on Instagram, and then I have my Etsy and eBay stores with my full line of prints.
Excellent stuff. So that's GalaxyCon in Raleigh. That's where people can find you at the end of July.
Yep.
All right. Thank you so much, Tom.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, this time I decided to split my reviews into 2 parts. And I thought, why not have some fun? In this opening part of the review show, we talk about our good friend Sami Zayn, Congratulations on the title win. And we also talk about Taro and his adventures going to watch Forbidden Door live. Joining us on this is also Andrew, the promoter for Epic Pro Wrestling Los Angeles. Epic Pro Wrestling Los Angeles has a show coming up on August 29th in Baldwin Park, California. That's August 29th in Baldwin Park, California, with some big matches that he announces here on the show. But, you've been hearing my drop at the beginning of the shows with the big match of Alpha Zoe going up against Big Bad Dude Tito. And we're most likely going to see the Epic Pro Wrestling champion, Royce Isaacs, defend that title. So, yeah, enjoy this show. Enjoy this other half of the reviews. Because in this one, we're talking Sendai Girls, we're talking Stardom, and we're going to cross the line as we talk TNA Slammiversary 2026. So thank you guys for listening, and please watch.
Keeping kids fit. Yeah. Hey, so I thought I'd do something here because I have with me two guys from the SoCal scene, and I often say that AEW started in California because it started by a lot of guys who watched PWG, and I have one of the guys who wrestled in the first couple PWG shows here in Kevin, or
sir.
You know him as Ultra Taro.
Yes,
and I also
sir.
have somebody.
Taro to you. BWG,
Okay,
I was Taro.
Tarocito Jr.
Ultra Taro Jr.
Ultra Taro Jr. We have
BWG, I was Taro. It says it right there on the screen. You see those letters?
Yeah.
I wish the T had the horns, because that's what I tried to do.
T-A-O. Yeah, I get it.
T-A-R-O. Big letters for a big man.
Yeah.
But let me tell you, you want to know what this big man did the other day? Larry and Andrew? Saturday night, I worked until 11:30 p.m. And then I had to be up at 5:30 in the morning. You know why I got up at 5:30 a.m. on a Sunday on no sleep? My friend and I, we got in our car. We drove 6 hours up this beautiful, it wasn't beautiful, I'll tell you why later, San Jose, California. What was happening last Sunday in San Jose, California, gentlemen? AEW Forbidden Door. And my goodness, one of the best shows I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've been going to wrestling shows for like almost 45 years at this point.
Dude,
Larry, you have any questions for me about Forbidden Door?
Well, I really wish I could have gone, but so when you get I was supposed to go. A couple of my buddies, they were like, "Hey, you're gonna drop out?" I was like, "I can." Because I did get the press invite, but then I was like, I have no reason to be in the Bay Area, and we're too busy to do anything because we ended up doing something else that day. So I was like, I couldn't go anyway. But I am so stoked for you that you got to do that and watch that show. I'm not really watching AEW weekly, but the pay-per-views are usually like something to watch, and especially when you have all that talent from New Japan, from Stardom, from CMLL, from AEW. That's just like it was a crazy show, man. And why was the
first time they really used Stardom talent?
Yeah,
as far as I'm aware.
Yeah, I think that's the first time they used Stardom and CMLL guys. That's so.
Mystico had been on shows before because here's my fun fact: I've been to 4 of the 5 Forbidden Doors. I didn't go to the Forbidden Door last year in London, but I've been to all the other Forbidden Door shows. It was Chicago, Toronto, New York. Didn't go up to London last year, the one this year.
Hey,
so
we don't count London.
I really saw Omega Ospreay in Toronto, and then now I've seen Ospreay against Swerve twice. And meanwhile, this Ospreay swerved twice. The second one this year, people are saying it's one of the greatest matches maybe ever. And I'm like, I can see why. I can see why.
I have never seen somebody bleed like that, because like he was leaving puddles, like and like Osprey was holding him there for the Styles Clash and just letting him bleed out. It was crazy.
And I'm telling you right now, what wrestling side of me is going. For a minute, I was like, something's up. I almost didn't believe the blood because I'll tell you why. Here's my logic. I saw because Will bled first, and total Crimson Mask. You see blood on the floor, and then all of a sudden I'm like, okay, he has the red face. It stopped. Huh, that's kind of sudden. And I kind of saw the same thing with Swerve. Like, puddles. And I'm like, okay, he's got the red mask. But now I'm not seeing it flow. But all of a sudden, like, I don't know if he gigged. I think he might have gigged twice because I don't see guys. If you watch wrestling match in the 80s, I don't see guys who kick themselves so hard. We're just like, and I'm like, what are these guys doing to make this happen?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because if you saw, we've all been watching wrestling for decades. I'm like, I don't remember seeing Dusty guys like that where there's pools of blood in front of them. Like, what are these guys? What is the difference nowadays as well as when we were watching his kids in the 80s? You know what I mean? Interesting thought.
I was watching the show at my. I was watching the show at my friend's Johnny's house, and a fun fact: his house his backyard is where the Santino Bros Wrestling School originated.
I've been there. Yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
Yeah, so his house used to be a famous party house for people in the SoCal wrestling scene to go watch all the big fights and pay-per-views, and it's scaled down, but he's got a little setup there, and I went to go watch it, and he had a couple people
Shout out to Chaos.
Shout out to Chaos. My buddy Damian Arsenic, who's a manager at Santino Bros, was there, a good friend of mine, and we were talking, and when Swerve started bleeding and we saw all the blood and we saw the pools of blood on the mat and all that, the first thing we both said was he obviously drank some Jack Daniels and did some aspirins.
Something.
Because it was thin. It was thin.
The way
they tell you either drink alcohol or take aspirin because that'll thin your blood. That's usually the thing they do.
Water and aspirin. Yeah. So he probably did all three and just like But it was cool. Like,
if you saw Swerve, you would see his eye was literally red from all the blood running his eye. I'm like, but the fact that they were able to do a 35-minute plus match, and still be able to pull off what they did is insane. It's insane.
These guys are just next level athletes, man. Like, they figured it out.
Yeah, I was just like blown away because obviously Will's had so many injuries, and back when he became famous for his match with Ricochet, everyone's like, this guy's gonna be done by 30, and it took him a long time, but he figured out how to find that balance of how do I not kill myself but still be a high performer level. It took him practically breaking his neck, and I just hope his neck's gonna hold up, because obviously they're leading him winning the belt, and I'm like, he should have. I think it's almost too late. He should have won the belt in 24 when he first came in. He had so much momentum. I'm like, ride this momentum, and I'm like, hopefully it works out still as well.
You know what's crazy, man? I'm hearing some weird things about the belt. It makes sense if the championship match at All In is Will Ospreay versus Jon Moxley, just because that's the storyline they've been building. But I don't
think that's gonna be then. It's obviously gonna happen, but everything's now. I'm like, if I go on the line, they're gonna do Ospreay Omega. They gotta do it one more time. And I'm like, you're gonna do it. Do it.
They're doing that next week, I think.
MJF versus Omega.
They're doing MJF.
Yeah, MJF versus Omega. Yeah,
against Ospreay. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. MJF and Omega's next week, apparently now. Not the pay-per-view. Yeah. Don't ask me why.
I have no clue why.
They're leading to Mox versus Ospreay. But I'm like, don't do it at the Dome. Don't do it. I'm sorry. Don't do it All In. All In needs to win the belt. That's the main thing. He has
They
to
can
win
do
it
that all
in.
out.
I think
They
they're
can do
going to
it
do
all
what
out.
they did like 2 years ago where they had the All In where Bryan Danielson won and everything was just all happy and everyone was all excited. And then the next pay-per-view, All Out, you had the Swerve Hangman cage match. And it was like everything just seemed so much darker. Like, you know, the yin and the yang. I think we're probably going to see that, which would be cool. But at the same time, I think...
has to win the belt at Wembley. He absolutely has to do it. And because, and they proved that. And the fact that, what was great about that match too is like, everyone knew Ospreay's winning. I shouldn't say that. You would think Ospreay's got to win this match. But they went as far as they could to tell you, no, we're not going to give it to you. You know, and I'm like, you've got to give it to him. Wrestling doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be unexpected for the sake of being unexpected. Give them what they want. People want Ospreay to win this. They want to be the champion. I'm like, you've got to give it to him at this point. And it's going to make AEW more money. And that's the bottom line in wrestling. Get these guys more money, make the wrestlers more money. It's a business in the end. It's supposed to be, at least.
So why wasn't the scenic trip to San Jose beautiful?
What, the drive?
Yeah, why was this not a beautiful drive? Because he said not so beautiful drive, not so beautiful San Jose.
It's just because we leave it. It's a 6-hour drive. You gotta remember, we left where I live, Anaheim, at like 6:15. We get there around 12. We're hanging out. We watch World Cup, and we're like, okay, show starts at 4. Pay-per-view starts at 5. I'll be over at 9. Duh. Should have known better. After like a match let's go to 10 o'clock. And so, mind you, we went straight back and drove back to Orange down here after the show.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
how do you feel about the debate on the long shows going late?
I don't mind that. I think 5's too long. I think 4 is a sweet spot. Because we grew up on 3 hours being like the normal length. I think 4 would ideally be a sweet spot. 5 is pushing it. But I'll tell you right now, being there live, that crowd was, I didn't see the pre-show. I got there late. But that crowd was hot almost the entire time.
Yeah.
They only weren't hot for people they didn't know, like Shota Umino. They didn't really know. It was passive for him until the end of that match. You know, the people they didn't know, and in my history from one of the Forbidden Door shows is they don't know Southern New Japan people because they're not getting hyped on AEW TV. You know what I mean? Like, and same as Luchadors. Mystico's been on there enough. He's over.
Yeah.
Titan, maybe not as much. Shingo Takagi, not as much. But they did a hot match, and everyone loved it.
Yeah.
And that those guys were the first match on the pay-per-view.
Yeah. So I'm very happy to get like this live event report from you, Kevin.
Yeah.
But there was also something else that happened this weekend, man. One of the orphans that El Generico would bring with him to Reseda finished the story and won the WWE Undisputed title. Sami Zayn
El Generico has opened a second, children for home. Has opened a second home for children in Tijuana. Is that what you're telling me?
I believe so. And I remember Sammy was his bag boy back in the day.
Wait,
so
what?
It's so weird that the bag boy he got to main event WrestleMania in SoFi.
What?
And now he wins the WWE title. That's crazy.
I never met Sammy. What are you talking about? I met Sammy. He looks like, lately he's not been the upstanding person from his actions, but you know what? I'm glad for the man to become the World Wrestling Entertainment Universal Champion. Andrew, why are you laughing?
Kayfabe.
I'm still way more kayfabe. I'm the guy who wore my mask every single show. Even though I knew I was losing my mask, I wore it every show to where no one would see me. I drove up, put my mask on. As I drove up, walked to my car, drove away about half a mile later, took my mask off. All right, so I'm still kayfabe.
You did the Mil Mascaras, man. The Mil Mascaras of taking a...
taking a
I'm
shower
not
with your
showering
mask
my
on.
mask. I'm not wearing my mask in the shower.
But,
But
yeah, man, you guys.
yeah, you know what? I love
yeah.
Sammy. Sammy's just such good people, and I'm glad for him to get this opportunity.
Yeah,
that dude works so hard throughout the years and all that. Like, I feel like his entire career just should be celebrated. Like, I mean, I have my opinions on kayfabe, but like,
he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time.
Like,
Absolutely my favorite wrestler of all time.
He had so many great matches as Generico, and I don't know if Kevin, you ever saw it, but the match he had with Justice Pain in CZW where he got knocked out.
That one. But I'll tell you right now,
during the match, and then like a lot of people have shit on Justice Pain over the years for being a bad worker, and like people would say that was like Justice Pain's best match, and Generico had like a concussion and didn't even know what happened. Like, that's how good he is. He could sleepwalk his way to classic matches and all that.
So here's the thing about him about El Generico at PWG. He would almost, for a long time, he had the death slot. He's like, Dragon's like, you're going to be in the first, he better put him in the first match after your mission. You know why? Because he's going to get that crowd back no matter what.
Hell yeah.
And almost any PWG show with El Generico for, my goodness, so many years, the best match on any PWG show was El Generico's match.
Yeah.
Hands down. Hands down. He was, God, I love the man. Oh, he's so tremendous. Love the guy.
One of my favorite memories of him was after PWG shows when they were running in like Hollywood or Silver Lake, Los Feliz, whatever you want to call that area.
Yeah.
Like
the Sweat Box. The original Sweat
Box.
That's where he broke into PWG, yeah.
That's where I broke into PWG too.
Yeah. That's I went to the shows that I went to the first PWG show and the last one, and I went to all the shows that were in Frankensons.
Wow.
I love Frankensons, man. I miss Frankensons. I have not gone to the new Frankensons.
You go to Frankensons, it's just, you're not going to see wrestling there. Yeah. Bart's still there probably, but that's about it.
But like, I remember after a show, we went to this IHOP on Sunset Boulevard.
All the time, that IHOP.
Go to. And I remember there was like, this was like 20 years ago, and there were a bunch of like high school kids who were like my age, right? And they were coming home from prom. And like Generico, being his usual goofy, wacky self, like goes up to like, hey, what's going on here? Like, you guys going to prom? And they're like, yeah, we went to prom. This guy's the prom king. And he's like, yeah, man. And like one of the kids was like, yeah, man, he's such a pimp. And then Generico's like, oh no, that's not a good thing. Pimps are not good people. Pimps are very bad people. He's lecturing these high school kids, and this high school girl is like, exactly. I've been telling him that the entire time. Pimps are bad people. And they cause this argument amongst them, and then we just, all of us, like a group of like 20 wrestlers and 10 like crew people like myself, like
being the good people. Come on,
we just went to the back end of that IHOP and we just had our meal while the high school kids at prom were arguing and shit. So it was a very Larry David moment.
I bite my lip because I was gonna ask what someone in that circle might have said, but I'm like, I'm not touching that with a 10-foot pole.
Oh man, he definitely is the Larry David of wrestling.
Hey, prom kids, can we talk?
No, but Generico just, that's the kind of Sami Zayn, that's the kind of vibe he has. He's like a real life Larry David. Like, he's like a weird agent of chaos where you can just say something so innocent and stupid and it'll just turn into a huge thing. But yeah, I'm happy for him.
And I'll tell you right now, I saw Generico. I saw one of El Generico's last ever matches. I was in Japan, and it's literally like, I think 2 or 3 months before El Generico disappeared to Tijuana. And it's literally me, a friend of mine, and 10 other people, I think, hang around this show in Japan. And it was his last ever match in Japan with El Generico. And I'm like, and I had to just be there. I'm like, I gotta go see it. And I'm trying to talk to Generico. And he's totally still talking to me in half Spanish, half English. I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And I'm like, come on. There's like, you're talking to me, my friend, and there's 10 Japanese people. And I'm just like, and I just want to talk to him because I don't get a chance to talk to him. And I'm like, I finally got him on one thing. I'm like, oh, hey hey, later tonight I'm gonna go to Punk. I'm gonna see a punk rock show. And he goes, "You're going to a punk show?" I'm like, "Got you! I finally got you after all these years. I got you." I really was like, "Oh hey," because one thing was he was so beat up he canceled a PWG booking, and a few weeks after that, and he's like, sheepishly going, I can't say his name. Oh, yeah, Dragon's mad at me for canceling. And he ended up taking the booking. It actually was El Jericho's last ever match at PWG. It was like an ET4 tournament. But he didn't say Dragon's name. He said another name, which I don't know why he would say that name. But, he's like, yeah, he's mad at me. But I said the punk rock show, I saw Sammy. I didn't see the other guy. And I was like, damn it, I got you. I'm bummed because it was 2012, so we couldn't really text like we can now. Otherwise, I could have brought Sami Zayn to a punk rock show with me in Tokyo. That would have been amazing.
That's a cool story, man. And I'm just a huge fan of Sam. I'm a huge fan of Generico.
He's the best.
That ladder match he had, that farewell ladder match he had with Kevin, like that's still one of the most emotional matches I watched. I remember we sent him off with the biggest ticker tape, like all the streamers and all that stuff, and to see where those two have gone, and to see them have grown from where they were at PWG to where they are, these are worldwide stars, and there's I know they started in Montreal, they worked in CZW, all that stuff, but to me, those two guys are SoCal through and through.
Yeah,
they were the scene,
and they obviously showed that when they did the show, the WrestleMania, where they wore the tribute gear, and I was like, I think of Disco Machine. We weren't even in LA, we were in Reno, and we're literally at a brewery just hanging out, and we're just like, this is surreal. And what's even funnier is we're at this little tiny brewery, and this guy, the server, is like, so wrestling camp is like, yeah, I'm watching WrestleMania, and he's talking to Isaiah, I'm like, how do we explain? And we're trying to explain to this guy, I'm like, we more or less help those guys break in. He's looking at us he's like, what? Because he has obviously, have no context of what we did, and he didn't know them before WWE, and he's just like, yeah, we wrestled those guys, and I mean, I never did, but Disco obviously did. And he's looking at us his jaw went to the floor. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, you're really hanging out with two guys who knew these guys for decades. It's just, and we're seeing their greatest moment of their lives in the wrestling, because it's never going to top them main eventing a WrestleMania in LA. Is just so wonderful. And the tribute they did the Dragon was so nice. So nice. Yeah. Although Dragon probably could give a, He probably doesn't care.
Obviously. I mean, did Dragon care about the Bandito shout out?
Me and Excalibur, and I'm sure maybe a couple others texted him, and crickets.
That seems about right. What
I heard was Bandito wants to give the mask to Dragon, and I'm like, he doesn't care.
Good luck with that.
He doesn't care. Because last I hung out with Dragon, I brought wrestling, and I was like, he didn't seem to care about wrestling toward the end of PWG, let alone now, but PWG is more or less, I hate to say done, because you never say never, but I don't see him ever doing it again.
Yeah. But you know what you can watch? You can watch Epic Pro Wrestling out of Baldwin Park, August 29th. Andrew, he is the promoter, the progenitor, the man behind Epic Pro in LA. Why'd you tell people about that show, man?
It's gonna be a great show. We got Bad Dude Tito facing Alpha Zoe. We got Royce Isaacs defending the Epic Pro Championship. We got Tony Deppen making his Epic Pro debut. It's gonna be sick. Tickets available at bettereachday4.eventbrite.com and at the door. $30 for adults. GA tickets all over. So first come, first serve. You want front row seat, or want to pull up a front row seat, whatever, as long as you're not blocking any aisles. Kids' tickets are $20 at the door only. So, bell time 7 p.m. Doors open at 6:20. We'll probably have a prelim match or two. So it's gonna be a sick show. Tons of free parking and air conditioning too.
Yeah. Air conditioning in SoCal, especially in Baldwin Park. That's where I grew up, man, and it gets hot out there. So I definitely I gotta duck into that show to get some AC because my wife doesn't let me turn it on. So, if absolutely go watch that show. Go to Epic Pro in Baldwin Park. Go hit up on a bet fight. You can hit Andrew up on X. He's Epic Pro LA, right? That's Epic Pro LA on the
Epic Pro LA on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and YouTube.
Yeah, and Kev, man, where can people follow you if they wanted to follow the legendary Ultra Taro?
I'll give 2 plugs if you want to see it. I'm up to you looking up on X and Instagram at Lock and Loll. That's LOKNLOLL. Or if you're a baseball fan or into craft beer, you can look up what Disco Machine and I are doing at Beer Baseball on Instagram, or you can see our 200 plus YouTube shows on YouTube at Baseball Brew Crew.
Absolutely, man. I'll definitely check those out. The links for all that will be in the episode description here. But thank you to Andrew, and thank you for Taro, Kevin, for coming on and doing this review, giving me this live event review. And, we had to give our thanks to Sami Zayn. We had to, go and say ole, ole, ole. Yeah, I am just so happy for that dude. Congrats, Sami.
Well deserved.
Adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush now. Adrenaline rush now.
Hey, we're gonna cross the line here. We're talking TNA. I got with me Mr. 410, or Mr. TNA. What's up, 10? Welcome back.
Thank you for having me. How's it going there?
Yeah, I got my buddy here, Matt, Deathmatch Royalty. Catch all of the podcasts on Spreaker. Read all the blogs on the, what's it? Damn, should I say it? Substack? Substack also, that place that really caters to the right-wing agenda. But we're not here to talk the right-wing agenda. We're here to talk TNA Slammiversary. 24 years of TNA. 24 years of TNA. So, guys, the last time we talked like TNA for real here outside of like State of Wrestling and all that stuff was me, 10, and my buddy Swagger. We were talking about how, we were hopeful with the TNA deal with AMC, because I think last time we recorded, like, it was about 6 months before like they were actually going to debut on AMC. I was like, it's good to like have choices in wrestling. It's good to like have wrestlers be paid, and it's good, right? And then we found out people aren't being paid. We find that a lot of wrestlers were dissatisfied working in TNA. A lot of guys who are working TNA were working on the assumption that they're going to WWE. And when it was found out that some guys weren't going to WWE, they had their knees cut out from under them. And then we found out that that's not even at the behest of WWE. That's just Carlos Silva doing things on his own for some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Could it be more TNA, guys?
TNA.
Oh wait, I gotta go more challenge. Could it be more total nonstop action? I'm sorry, I just had to do that.
TNA, damn it.
I think we're just having this conversation about it because, truth be told, I did watch some of this, via highlights, and I know 10 watched it, so I'm gonna let 10 run us through the pay-per-view results and stuff. And man, but before we get to that, bro, 10 actually organized his 20-year high school reunion this weekend. How was that, bro?
It was fun catching up with familiar faces. Man, does it make you feel old? You find our classmates got kids in high school. They got some not entering college. I said to myself, damn.
Bro, 2006 was 20 years ago, bruh. Like we had fast internet then. We had YouTube, and now you have kids raised on YouTube who don't know like the YouTube before YouTube changed. We got, a whole generation of kids who grew up on iPads. It it is so weird to see like what makes you an unk now, because 20 years ago, I think that's when I got with my wife, and yo, so much has changed in 20 years, but so much has stayed the same. I mean, I'm happy that for the future generations now we're back to loose pants, so we can all be breathing down there, have all the circulation. You know, I was never with the slim fit jeans. That was never me. Well, mostly because my fat ass couldn't fit into them. But it's it's a little bit it's a little bit fun when you run into the people. I personally never didn't go to the anniversaries, but that's because I always still hang out with my peoples from then. So it's like so I see them around town from time to time. My wife also, like, all of her high school friends she's still friends with, and it is weird that everybody's got kids, everybody's like grown. It's so weird.
Yeah, it was mind-boggling.
I don't feel grown yet, man.
Man, it was mind-boggling, but I had an awesome time catching up.
Yeah. Matt, I know you said like they don't really do anniversary or like reunions in the UK.
No, not really. Not in the same sense. People will meet up with old friends, like maybe once in a blue moon, but nothing like, as far as I know, high school reunions isn't that big of a thing.
So Romy and Michelle didn't hit for you. I got it.
That was a good movie. I'm happy to get it back.
Hey. Oh yeah, they are. Damn, there is like no original like things out there, because I saw like a YouTube ad for Practical Magic 2. Like,
yeah,
Practical Magic 2. They bringing it back. I watched that last night. I was like, this movie don't make any sense, but I kind of liked it. There's that part where they had like the vampire boyfriend possess like the other sister, who was Nicole Kidman, and pop out, and the CGI wasn't that bad. I was like, huh. But I'm like, what more of a story can you tell? Like, the sister's gonna get more people killed? But
it's Hollywood for you.
Hey.
Yeah.
And we talk about rehashes. Let's talk about total nonstop action. Guys. For its entire existence, the joke has always been LOL TNA. The joke has always been, what is one of the names? What is Sean Morley doing in the Impact Zone? What is
Kip James?
What is Kip James doing in the Impact Zone? Oh my gosh. It's Mustafa Ali in the Impact Zone. Well, that actually,
that turned
Leo
out
Rush in the Impact Zone. Yeah, some of them worked out. Some of them were fine. But we're talking 24 years. It's really great to see things last for this long. We're also on the 24-year anniversary of Chikara, which ended on a whimper, and for good reason. We're also talking about 24 years of Ring of Honor, which is weird they didn't have an anniversary show yet. Maybe they'll build to that. Did they have an anniversary show for Ring of Honor? I don't think they did.
I don't think so.
No. I don't think they've done that they haven't done that. They haven't. The last time they did that was the last anniversary show that they did before they got bought.
Wasn't that the last one before Tony bought Ring of Honor?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, it was, because he had that match with the Taven and the Righteous, and Dutch shows up and knocks him off the balcony because there's no audience there.
Man, the Kingdom have come back to Ring of Honor to do exactly what they were doing last time they were Ring of Honor, which was
nothing,
hang out and catering. Let me be so blunt here. Okay, the reason that I was so excited for like maybe TNA doing something, it was for like choice and variety in pro wrestling. Because if I'm being honest with you guys, especially you two here, is I am out of love with the mainstream American pro wrestling scene. I'm heavily vested right now in like my local scene. Shout out to Epic Pro Wrestling out of Baldwin Park, California, my hometown, about celebrating 24 years. And Matt, I know you sent me that Epic Pro Wrestling show, and I think I was at that show. So,
I just have to assume with Epic or PWG or maybe other Californian indies with certain people like Mr. California, you were probably there for the last 20 years.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. You could probably see like, oh man, 2002, 10. I'm sorry, man. 2002, I had straight backs. Because at the time my girlfriend was Jamaican and she liked to braid my hair, so I had straight backs. So I know I'm on that tape with straight backs and straight backs and a South Pole shirt, and I definitely had my earrings in. I know I did. And I hope I wasn't wearing a chain, because if I was wearing a chain,
9 times out of 10, you were wearing a chain. It was 2002, you said?
Yeah.
You wearing
Most
chain.
definitely I'm wearing my chain.
You
God
wearing
damn.
chain.
Yo, I was definitely wearing a chain. I was definitely wearing my, I'll probably be canceled, like I was probably wearing Sean John. I was probably wearing South Pole. I was probably wearing Echo. One of those things. I know I was. I'm like, every time like someone posts like, every time someone posts like a classic like PWG or like one of those like California indie show things, I'm like, fuck, I hope I'm not on camera. Cause like you see like the evolution in like my hair and my fashion. I'm like, oh damn. And like let's go back to 2002, right? Let's go back to 2002. ECW dead. WCW dead. They tried to bring XWF. Nah, that's not happening. But the Jarretts brought forth in Nashville, Tennessee, at the Nashville Fairgrounds, lovingly called the Asylum, total nonstop action, TNA wrestling. And, if you listen to a certain podcast hosted by certain guys, bro, the joke was, of course, tits and ass, bro. And from that moment on, from when I saw a puppet jerking off in a trash can, we saw acts like Lollipop. We saw acts like, the cage dancers. We had Cheeks. Cheeks was buns. It was...
We also had...
Yeah.
But we also had...
Yeah, absolutely. We also had some guys in the ring that absolutely killed it. We had guys like AJ Styles, guys like Low-Key, guys like CM Punk. Although CM Punk only did like a couple episodes and he was like more like Raven's henchman, which is funny because at the time Raven and him were having a blood feud in a Ring of Honor.
Yeah.
Where Raven kind of forced I think Raven forced alcohol down his throat or something.
Yeah,
the same feud in two. They were doing it on Ring of Honor and MLW, wasn't they?
Yeah. It was, but then in TNA he was Raven's flunky. Yeah.
The Gathering with Julio De Niro and Alexis Larry, future Mickey James.
Oh gosh, Mickey James, Tommy Dreamer supporter there. Yeah. And I'm talking about the good of TNA. I'm talking about the matches that we think about. Everybody knows Joe Daniels, AJ Styles. Everybody knows Kurt Angle, Joe in the cage at Lockdown. Everybody knows the Candelabra match between Abyss and Sting, where
Fire Russo, when it was Dutch Mantel that did the booking.
The
cage match, AMW versus Triple X, where Elix Skipper, of course, does the cage walk.
Everybody knows, of course, the knockouts. I love the knockouts. I love Awesome Kong. Shout out to you, Kia. Big Sis Kia, one of the loveliest women that I know. Like LA, Uh, and what's up, Les? Les joining us. We're here doing a little bit of a TNA callback. Did you ever watch TNA, man? Because I know you're like the young boy, so I'm not sure if you ever watched TNA.
Yeah, I watched TNA while growing up. I can't say I remember. I never watched the NWA TNA from like
Yo,
02 from 03.
you missed out, man.
Well, I've seen some stuff. I know Amazing Red, youngest X Division champion. You got AJ Styles, Jerry Lynn.
What you should watch, young man. I'm using the young man. I'm saying young man because that's a joke, young man. Is you should open your third eye and listen to those Ronda Truth Killings promos because my God, when I first heard of TNA and like people were saying, "Yo, K Quick is crazy," and then you hear those promos and then you're like, "Damn, why are they still relevant in 2026?" But
I say, why didn't he do this in WWE?
Yeah, I thought they was going to do something with him.
Yeah, that's what annoyed me when they did the whole thing when they brought him back because fans demanded it, and then they have him cut off the dreads, and then 2 weeks later he's back as, he's the comedic guy again. Hey.
Bro, he shaved himself bald for that angle and didn't get nothing for that.
Yeah, I remember because in the UK where we had the wrestling channel. And TNA was a big centerpiece for that channel, right? That was the only place you could watch TNA in the UK at all for years. And the first promo I saw Truth cut when he did it to Ricky Steamboat.
Yeah.
That was just...
Yeah, that's crazy.
He was trying to... it was kind of going towards a kind of Steamboat heel turn as well at the time, I think. That's what they were trying to get to.
Which is crazy. I don't think Ricky Steamboat's ever played a heel anywhere. That's crazy.
Maybe the closest he probably got was that promo and that with R-Truth, and then the little thing he did in ROH with Mick Foley for a while.
He also had like a semi-heelish run in All Japan in the 80s, which if you guys ever want to see like Ricky Steamboat with a beard trying to make Jimmy Snuka bleed, that's what you should be watching. I think that TNA has always had a legacy of almost there and then fucking it up at the last minute. That's their fault. That's their fault. And it's not really their fault as in like it's their fault, but it's always in who's running it, right? The blame always goes from the top.
Yep.
Because, the Jarretts sold it right away. Like, I think I did have the story of Year One TNA, which is a DVD. Back then, kids, less, like, they used to sell, like, DVDs, right? And wrestling DVDs of documentaries used to be, like, real popular. So one of the DVDs I bought was Year One TNA. And on it, Jeff Jarrett tells a story about him and Jerry wanting to get rid of the debt and, like, sort of Dixie Carter coming in and like being an angel investor and getting the company.
Yeah, because if they had been Carters, they didn't invest. TNA would have been done.
Yeah, Panda Energy. And I talked about it on State of Wrestling about toxic debt, right? And BJ sort of went deeper into it. It's a part of a company where they're running a thing and then the company just puts their debts on the certain thing. Like they put it specifically on a business that they're running. So that business runs on taking the debt from the company. So in all of its existence, from Panda Energy to Anthem, TNA has always eaten the debt of the company. So like whatever would be seen as like non-profitable and whatever will be thrown on TNA because it's pro wrestling, and you can just say, oh, the debts are due to blah, blah, blah on this. And so it gets put on the wrestling because it's the least profitable and the least likely to, whatever. People are going to like really look deeper into them. Like, oh yeah, they're running at a loss. So there have been times, according to Jeff Jarrett on his podcast, My World, where he says, "Oh yeah, TNA was actually running in the black a couple of times," and like, if you like listen to what he's really saying, it was like maybe like a month they were in the black.
Yeah.
But if you're in the black, you're not really making money. You're more breaking even. And for TNA to be in business for 24 years and always be something that's not really been a profit-driven business, it's more like, hey, buy us and you could like, maybe you'll get a TV slot, which they didn't last time because they were ended up on Access for like, damn, dude, they were on Access for like 10 years already, almost. Because before that, they were on Pop.
Yeah.
And before that, they were on American
Because
Outdoor
Anthem bought
Life,
them in
whatever.
2014, didn't they?
Yeah. I remember when what was it that one channel was airing Ring of Honor and TNA at the same time, and Ring of Honor would get higher ratings.
Yeah.
Oh wait, HDNet.
Not HDNet. It was like
Destination
Ring
America.
of Honor. Yeah, Destination America.
Yes,
they were
go.
both on Destination America. And I remember the week that they aired Roddy versus Okada from the baseball park, it like outdrew any rating TNA did like on the network like ever. So I just thought that was funny. I'm not laughing at them because I've enjoyed them from time to time. I've gone to TNA house shows when they had the 6-sided ring. Okay, the first time I watched Hiroshi Tanahashi was in TNA at a house show in Anaheim. And and that's also the first time I saw Goto. I think if we look at this weekend, man, you look at the partnerships, you think about the partnership that TNA had with New Japan. It wasn't the Okada thing.
It was the W.
That was part
It was
of it.
the Team 3D stuff, wasn't it?
It was the Team 3D thing. So, do you guys know that Team 3D won the junior heavyweight tag titles off of No Limit, who are Yujiro and Naito?
Yeah.
They won the junior tag titles, and then.
But now that you said it, I think that would have happened.
Yeah. They won it without telling them. There was other things like people like being treated like they didn't really learn anything. I think, like if you read the Young Bucks books they have like a whole thing about when they were hanging out with Okada. It's because Okada wasn't really they all weren't doing anything in Orlando, so they just hung out and went to the theme park because the boys were given passes to Universal, to pass the time, which. That's cool. But, man.
I tell you what, it's just astounding and amazing that in every incarnation of management, they always seem to miss the moment when it's time to do something key.
Always. Man, we're talking about this show with the first time they crowned, Big Mike Santana. A lot of people were like, we'll see something, and then like during the tapings, in between them, they just buried his ass, and it kind of what happens on this show on TNA Slammiversary. The same thing happened to him, where people thought okay, but then also the conversation going into the show is who's staying, who's leaving, what's really the plan here? Is TNA really gonna stay on AMC? What are they going out of business, right? And friend of the show, Blake Avignon, a lot of real stupid people were saying that TNA was for sale, right? Yeah, you said TNA is for sale, and then like they come back, no, TNA is not for sale, and then no, the owner Anthem said like we have a price point for TNA. Funny enough, like about in 2018, Tony Khan was offered TNA for a certain dollar amount. And he came back with a dollar amount, and both sides couldn't come to an agreement. But Tony later on, like I think he said this weekend at the presser, like
the media call. Brandon Thurston asked about it, and then he gave a this is the key word, hypothetical price, because a lot of people were basically going, "Oh yeah, he said he said they were going to sell for 40 million." So he says 40 million. Tony's like, no, I wouldn't buy it for 40 million.
Dude,
no
so
way.
You're thinking about 40 million, but how much debt are you also putting on your own company?
Yeah.
The toxic debt is what keeps people away from purchasing it. This is why WWE or anybody will never buy TNA proper, they would probably want to make an offer on
The library.
most likely some of the IPs and then a video library. But buying the company itself, what comes in with the debt, and that's what they would try to sell it off to somebody trying to buy the debt from them. I don't think that's ever going to happen. That's my opinion. They're never going to sell TNA because those debts are so high that there's no way you can turn it around into making something unless like you need something to take the debt from your company. And I don't think they'll ever sell it. I don't think they'll ever find a buyer, like, first off. And I do think that WWE, they were talking about, I think BJ talked about on the show that WWE was giving what got the first right of refusal. So if they are going to be for sale, WWE makes the first bid. And they're the ones that get the first, like, they get to make the first decisions on if they wanted to buy it or not. Which kind of shows you the partnership that's grown between TNA and WWE. Which, you know, if you're like me and Matt and Tan here, and you know, I think Les heard this too. Like, WWE spent most of like the last 20 years making a joke out of TNA, to the point where Kurt Angle, when he was WWE Raw GM, said, "You know, I hear TNA is hiring."
Oh, to Sammy and Kevin. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. Oh.
And I get TNA has its fans. You know, we all heard the jokes about TNA Mecca and all that, but it is what it is right now. I mean, there's some good talents in there. Shout out to Leon Slater and Mustafa Ali. Shout out to, you know,
Ricky Sosa.
You know,
if they do something with him.
Ricky Sosa, Bang Bang. I love Ricky Sosa. Matt, tell us about Ricky Sosa.
I don't know that much. He's been popular in Europe for a while. TNA noticed this. TNA put him on. He's doing quite well over there.
Yeah.
I can't really say much more than that. Or I know more about his entrance than anything else.
That's all I know is Bang Bang.
Yeah, that's how I caught up to Sosa.
Yeah.
I just hope he's not one of those, has a great entrance, has a catchy tune, and then the bell rings, and then it's like,
I've seen some of his stuff.
I think he's all right.
Online.
I
He's
heard,
good.
That's what EY was pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
As you can hear, ladies and gentlemen, we're going through this show in a specific way, because Ricky Sosa did beat EY. I think that there's always been this thing in TNA where they find guys, right? They found an Ace Austin. They found the Chris Bay. They found, like, you know, they got Jordan Grace. They got all these, like, wrestlers, Deonna Purrazzo, Taya Valkyrie. Like, they've had these wrestlers in their peripheries and in their ranks. And it's always been a place where, you know, some guys go to make a little bit of noise and then possibly get hired by somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, like AJ Styles using TNA to get hired by New Japan and then using that run in New Japan to become basically one of the top stars over the last 10 years in WWE. It's TNA as a place where guys have been able to make names for themselves. As I said, Samoa Joe, AJ Styles, guys like that, guys like Mike Santana, EFY Bowl, entertain your effing balls off. Their run as LAX, even Eddie Kingston in the LAX run, that was his first foray into mainstream wrestling. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But now that you mentioned Mike Santana, also TNA is a great place where people can go and reinvent themselves. Like they got Bear Bronson right now. He's trying to give an opportunity what he been doing at AEW. I mean, Steve Macklin came there when he was from the Forgotten Sons. And also you had Big Bill when he was W. Morrissey there. He reinvented himself, got himself a contract with AEW. So that's another capital they can use. But they don't capitalize on it.
Yeah, Bear's just, he's one of the best out there right now, not just in TNA, but in the deathmatch world. He has been absolutely killing it for the last 12 months, since Cage of Survival last year when he took on Slade. And now he's been announced for CZW's Tournament of Death as well. He got announced this weekend for that, so That's him joining the likes of Slade, Nino Extremo, Mr. Insanity, Toby Klein, and a couple of other people. Insane Phil.
Yeah. Hey, you know what, guys? Let's go through these results. All right. And you could tell me 10 and how they were. So Elena Black defeated Indy Hartwell and Mara Sade in a match you probably would have watched in NXT 2.0.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it was there. I mean, it was decent. Little improvement, but they're still the same as you seen them on NXT, and they're still the same as they are now. So.
Yeah. Yeah, all right. So, we just talked about it. Ricky Sosa beat Eric Young. Eric Young, he can still go. Ricky Sosa is still like a raw talent. He still has a lot of those like the European aura farming thing around him. So, that was it. The match that I did watch that I focused in on because I love car crashes. The X Division and Ultimate X, Cedric Alexander retains against Amazing Red, who, if you've been watching Hog over like House of Glory over the last like 5 years, knows that Amazing Red is still good. He's still good. Fabian Eichner, Frankie Kazarian, Casey Navarro, Leon Slater, Mr. Elegance, Mr. Elegance, your mate Trish's favorite wrestler, Matt. There's pretty good performances here. I really thought it was cool to have Frankie again in Ultimate X, seeing as this was one of the matches that he originated.
Yeah.
So
it was fun.
It was all right. It was all right. I liked it. They did some crazy things in there.
The finish was good. How Cedric, you've got Slater, Amazing Red doing the tug of war with the belt, and then Cedric's like, yoink, jumps over, gets it, goes down, done.
Yeah. I liked it.
Yeah, I had to catch up on this match. I did not watch this show at all.
Oh, it's cool, man. It's cool. It's cool.
I looked at the build for the show, and then when I kept reading it, I was like, "This is not a show that pleases me. It doesn't please me for real. Only two matches really pleased me, and that's the Ultimate X, and then maybe the World Title match. Other than that, I was not invested in the show.
Yeah. We have Elijah defeating AJ Francis, which I thought was bullshit. Just to let you guys know. So, you guys know about how Michael Jackson owned like all the Beatles music, right?
Yeah.
So this was them doing that with AJ owning all of Elijah's music, whatever. I'm not even sure if this match was for like Elijah to get ownership. Okay. Damn, this is
okay. I have to explain. I have to be the Brit that explains something now. AJ, of course, had a little guest with him, Expectations, who is mostly known for being a soccer YouTuber that gets really mad when his team loses.
Okay.
Who is Tottenham Hotspur, who the last season of the Premier League were not doing very well at all. So a lot of his crash outs went viral.
Great.
The team managed to stay in the Premier League, but it was by skin of their teeth, and it was on the very last day. So seeing him show up to be the manager for AJ Francis and do like the entrance and take a guitar shot from Elijah was very fucking weird.
That is, man, they're really, they're bringing in the big stars, the big crossover stars,
All the stars. Shout out to TNA for doing one thing that I really liked, which was giving Leon Slater SD Kid and Four Rows as his theme tune now. Given how big SD Kid has been getting on a global scale.
I'll say this much about that match, man. I like AJ Francis. His promos are funny. His wrestling's gotten better. He just happens to be in TNA. I feel like if he was anywhere else, people would probably be paying attention to what he's doing. But he's one of the only reasons why I watch TNA stuff on YouTube is because he's actually entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's pretty, I'll tell you what, I'll give him credit, man. He hustles everywhere he goes. He does press everywhere, and he's decent in the ring.
Yeah. we have the Demon and the Bunny. That's Rosemary and Allie
Woo!
beating the Elegance brand with Ash by Elegance. I don't know any of these people. I mean I know Allie. I know
I was gonna say
Rosemary.
you should. I was gonna say you should know Ali, for God's sake.
Yeah, I know Allie. She's the one that drew bigger ratings than Roman Reigns on Rampage.
Yep.
So
The one thing that stuck out me about this match is I hope they break this Elegant brands up, because M by Elegance, Maggie Lee, they need to try something with her, because all the time before I even seen her, I went how she's this good prospect. Can't miss. I see on here they put in this comedy gimmick. So I hope they just break them up, give her a singles run, and see what they got.
they should just put Mr. Elegance with his cousins. Just fuck it. Just put Mr. Elegance with his cousins. They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
I'm not. I was a big fan of the Elegance brand, but then I don't know. It took me out. I got a question. Do you guys see any appeal to Rosemary? Because I know a lot of people like Rosemary. I don't see it at all.
Like 10 years ago when she wasn't injured and could move and have like somewhat decent matches, I thought she was all right.
When
now
she was okay.
Crazy Steve.
Yeah, Crazy Steve. It was most of the act there, man. I don't know. She all right.
I think she got this groundswell of support when who's that was? Sexy Star, when she broke her arm.
Yeah. God,
Sexy Star won. Yeah.
Yeah, Sexy Star 1 broke her arm in a match. Like it became a that was on a TNA show. That was on not even on a TNA show. That was like on an indie, I think, right?
That's on AAA.
Yeah,
that was on AAA. Yeah, she broke her arm on AAA, like on live TV. Like, goddamn. Well, she's up here.
Well, I'm a sucker for that whole. I've been a sucker for that whole Undead Realm stuff since they kind of first started doing it. So when you had Jim Mitchell be part of it and all that stuff, and then TNA, of course, had this weird fixation at the time of when people were leaving the company, they were actually killing the characters off.
Which was
they did. Well, they did
killed Ellie off.
Yeah, they killed Ellie off, and at least they bothered to do a continuity thing to explain how she came back. That was good. Because Abyss showed up in one episode, just randomly for no reason. And then you've got the whole thing. They killed Eric Young off at one point when he left to go back to NXT. They had Joe Doering, rest in peace, kill him off, and then he comes back a couple of years later, and no one explains, well, where are the stab wounds?
Yeah. Let me just take a moment for Joe Doering. Absolutely, one of the reasons I kept watching All Japan Pro Wrestling in the 2010s was Joe Doering. He made the jump to All Japan at the same time that Kenny Omega did, around the same year when they both got dropped from WWE Developmental. And I really feel like it's always been the cancer that like was what I believe he probably would have been brought in that NXT era had he not had cancer. Because he was one of the best acts in Japan at the time. And in 2010's All Japan, you're talking Kento Miyahara, you're talking shots from Kojima, and like you have Suwama, you have Suji Ishikawa there, and they're all, All Japan was doing pretty well for itself. Zeus. It's just it never worked out for him here in the US, but he did have a career in Japan. And I always think like Joe Doering was one of those guys who, if you ever like, you got to look at him and you saw him, you're like, how is this guy not here? So, rest in peace, Joe Doering, one of my favorite Triple Crown champions of the 10s. Yeah.
I know at some point you're going to educate me on Joe's Japan run, because I knew when he was in TNA for a while, and he had that great match with Josh Alexander against
excellent match
years ago.
Yeah,
and the Manders his final match with Manders for Wrestling Revolver is a pretty damn good match as well. Even though we didn't realize it was his final match at the time.
Yeah. The match with Josh Alexander is actually available right now on the TNA YouTube. I recommend you guys watch that.
That's pretty good.
It's an excellent match.
Too.
Yeah. It's a really good match. If you like guys like Stan Hansen, if you like guys like JBL, if you like guys, if you like your big Texan Lariat, even though he's from Chicago. Oh yeah, oops, kayfabe. He's from Chicago. If you like that kind of like big brawny Dr. Death, Steve Williams, Terry Gordy, like those style guys, Joe Doring is right up your alley. Shame, 44 years old, cancer fucking sucks. But yeah, rest in peace, Joe Doring. Absolutely.
And for one last time, show me power, motherfucker.
Show me power.
Yeah. Show me power, you motherfucker. I love it. Watch the Daisuke Sasaki match for more of that. Well,
you have to show me that Zeus match at some point.
The Zeus match, the Daisuke Sasaki match, the match against Strong BJ. Golly, I got a whole. It's like yeah. I already sent a playlist to Matt. We'll definitely do a Joe look back. We have, of course, making their return to the big build for this show was, of course, who is going to be the mystery opponents for Mustafa Ali, who's the TNA International Champion. This, of course, is the evolution of the TNA Grand Championship and the Legends title from before. We have Mustafa Ali with Tasha Steelz. Shout out Tasha Steelz. She bad. But you know, one of the first is the return of Rich Swann. Hey, hey, Tasha,
I'm not disagreeing.
I know. I mean, like, I was as respectful as I could be to Mara Sade at the beginning, because I know homie Kevin Knight, man, Kevin Knight, you the man. Anyway, so we had Rich Swann making his return to TNA after I think he was off for like maybe a couple months, but he like do spots here and there in TNA. But Rich Swann in an official capacity back in TNA. Mr. All Night Long, and making his TNA debut to the chagrin of all of us old Dragon Gate heads, Uha Nation. Uha Nation, Mustafa wins this match, but, Uha and Rich, those are two guys I would love to see back in Dragon Gate. Or, I would love to see them team back up with Ricochet somewhere, sometime, in some other planet somewhere, please. I really love Monster Express. It would be cool to have them back. Although I know Tozawa is still in the foreign land. Yeah. But it was cool to see Uha in like a different environment. A pretty good match. Of course, it's going to be a good match with these three guys.
The one thing that stuck out to me about this man had wasted so much of his youth doing nothing up there in WWE.
Yes.
Dude. What do you mean? He was the main event every night.
Hey, who are you to doubt the Nigerian drum match at WrestleMania?
The Commander Ortiz.
I'm just saying, before he even signed what he was doing in PWG and what y'all alluded to, what he was doing in Dragon Gate. I mean, he could have been doing this and then some in another environment that valued him. So hopefully with this run, he can reinvent himself.
He was one of those guys that got called up by Vince McMahon, and it was like, damn.
Hell,
I'm
if
sorry.
you really want to see, Uha do some crazy stuff, wacky stuff, there's a UK federation called Preston City Wrestling. Uha years ago did a bunch of shows down there for like their Road to Glory tournament that they did a couple of times, and some of the matches he's had on those were just great back in the day. If you can find them.
Yeah. I just hope Uha doesn't follow the path of Tommy Yen and end up like one of those guys. Oh man. We follow that up with, of course, Moose versus Eddie Edwards in
No Surrender.
In a match. No surrender match. Damn.
With intergender spots with Moose.
Yeah.
And the
It's very
melodrama.
uncomfortable seeing Moose being cheered for for walloping Alicia Edwards. Very very uncomfortable.
That's not awkward.
Are we sure Tommy Dreamer fired?
Yo. Send his ass out. Air his ass out, man. You know, Tommy Dreamer, good riddance. It was funny, like when some of the news came back about like Tommy Dreamer's releasing this stuff about like, oh yeah, I actually had this plan. And then the funniest one was Tommy Dreamer, there's interest in AEW and bringing Tommy Dreamer in.
Oh, like, I loved it how they've released today. Delirious was not under consideration to be fired because he wasn't part of the creative problems.
Yeah. Zaya Brookside defeats Li Ying Lee for the women's knockouts championship.
Hey.
I like Li Ying Lee. I like Zaya Brookside. It was a match.
Yeah, it was just a match. I mean, it's obvious they got a story to tell between them two.
Yeah. We have, of course, the 4-way ladder match with the Broken Hardys winning over the System and the Righteous and the Great Hands.
Bullshit.
I would like to see the Great Hands somewhere else, please. These two have like a lot of potential.
Especially
the Righteous.
Yeah, they should have been at least tag champions at this point. Young upcoming stars and just lackeys for Ali.
I remember it was last year. One time, Jason Hotch had a singles match against Ali, and they were teasing him real hard and breaking away. I was like, oh, they're gonna finally push him and break him away and do something. But no, they slapped him right back into tag team with Skyler.
Yeah. But you know, it was a pretty fun ladder match. That spot where like Hotch does the moonsault off of the falling ladder was sick. Bear Bronson took some big damage and did a lot of cool shit here. You know, the Hardys, they're the new Funk Brothers of TNA, where, you know, the company revolves around them.
Yeah.
Just like 10 years ago when it revolved around them. Which, you know, 10 years ago they also like
they got to make some stars quick, fast, and in a hurry because they can't depend on the Hardys forever.
The problem is 10 years ago it was fresh, it was funny, it was something that got people talking, and now it's just there.
Yeah,
Hell, the Righteous winning would have been better than the Hardys, and I'm a big fan of the Righteous. I thought they got really fucked over in AEW and ROH, especially the whole MJF taking them on 2-on-1 shit.
I feel like them losing to MJF was what really set them to do nothing in that company. MJF really helped everybody out when he was champion, you know, guys.
Yep.
Definitely. But yeah, you know, the Hardys win this ladder match, and they keep wanting to have that match with Copeland and Christian for some reason, even though they both said they don't want to be in AEW. So it's very odd. We did talk about at the top. Nick Nemeth defeats Mike Santana via screw job. This still doesn't make sense unless Mike is leaving TNA, because it doesn't really set up like anything, because this was exactly the first storyline they started off with in AMC, was Mike Santana being screwed out of the belt and then trying to win it back. And then here again, he gets screwed out of the title. I don't know why you would do this, except for it seems like the guy that gets paid the most in TNA is Nick Nemeth, and he's their biggest star.
Him and the Hardys get paid the most. Yeah.
So you know,
I mean, if Santana's leaving, then fine.
Yeah,
that's the right choice to make.
You know,
if it was me, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead, Tim.
I was saying, if it was me, I would have him be a placeholder, somebody like Leon Slater or somebody.
Yeah, that would have been something, man. But yeah, that's your TNA Slammiversary review. 24 years of TNA. You know, that's something.
Yeah, 24 more years.
Yeah, they're never going away. They're just going to be there to absorb that for the entire existence. even if WWE goes away, even if TNA and AEW folds, there will always be TNA.
Always.
You know,
You got
always,
death, you got
always.
taxes, and you got TNA surviving.
Forever, 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 total, nonstop action.
What makes me laugh is even Billy Corgan can say it. And then, of course, a lawsuit between... Wasn't it a lawsuit between him and Dixie over it as well at one point?
Yeah, Paper Street, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Well, Matt, did you know that that NWA on Comet is outdrawing TNA on AMC?
We don't get NWA in any form over here because we don't get it on the Roku channel. We don't get it on Tubi. It doesn't exist.
Isn't it on Pluto here in the States?
I don't know, man. I
in
think
the UK,
they were. I think they were on. I have them on my Samsung TV, but like that's like the fast channel. It's not really like over the air. I'm not even sure where to get it, man. Like honestly,
the problem with NWA is they do it so far behind, like 6 to 8 months. So no one will give a shit because it's 6 to 8 months.
yeah, just like MLW, man. The world never stops. But yeah, that's our TNA review. Hey guys, so what's up? This is Dr. Lariat, and this is a review that I'm doing here with my pare right here, Justin. Hey, what's up, Justin? You're about to hear us talk about Senjo. Senjo's having their 20th anniversary. They're also having a card on the July 12th that I believe you guys should be watching. So definitely, Justin. How do you feel about 20 years of Senjo?
20 years of Senjo is a culmination of of love for pro wrestling, especially within the Sendai region, especially how Meiko Satomura views pro wrestling and how she imparts this onto her students. And you see it quite well with the booking and with how they treat each match. And that's why I watch Senjo basically. Just because no matter how small the promotion is, you just see the fire out of each and every one. I can't say the same for every promotion.
Yeah, honestly, you see everyone is just so, what's the word? Everybody wants this company to succeed and everybody wants their teammates to succeed. There's nobody on here where you see them pulling each other down. And if you follow any of the Senjos on their social media, you see how positive everybody is. It really does feel like a team effort to make this work and you really see these women come together as a team, as a promotion. And, I always love seeing them all on the farm with the, doing the farming. They all look so...
the farm, yeah.
Everybody just seems to be having a time. And it's just an aspect of pro wrestling that I don't think people really talk about is this kinship within the dojos. Usually we hear things about these rivalries that start up, and we hear about the bullying and the hazing that happens in these dojos. You'll hear us talk about a little bit about it here. The Gaia Girls documentary sort of painted Joshi for the longest time as a place where you'll get nightmare training and you're going to get drop kicked in the head and say you're not getting up fast enough. Times have changed with Joshi, and I think it's changed for the better. So, enjoy this talk about me and Justin talking about Senjo. It's really fun. Because it's really great to actually talk to somebody that actually watches the show also. So, Justin, always love to have you here, man.
Yeah, likewise. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Yeah, man, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to that July 12th show that we're just talking about right now.
I hope you guys enjoyed our talk about Senjo. I hope you guys enjoyed our talk about the Stardom card that we just reviewed, and of course, whatever we talked about the Forbidden Door and Fantastica Mania. But I'd rather talk more about Senjo. That's my favorite subject of pro wrestling. It's so hard to find stuff like that you're actually enthusiastic to watch in pro wrestling. You kind of heard us talk around the booking of CMLL, and you kind of heard us talking around the booking of New Japan over like the last couple of years. Like the wrestling is good, okay? The talent is great, guys, but it's hard for me to get invested in a product when I don't trust the people in charge to give me the kind of show that I want, and that goes double for AEW because they've disappointed me so much this year. But something that hasn't really disappointed me has been Stardom and Senjo. So I know a lot in pro wrestling is, it's just focused on the men's side of pro wrestling, women's, whatever. But I say this like not even from this is a gender neutral like stance. Stardom has been my favorite promotion over the last year and a half, and Senjo's always been my special little promotion. So I'm saying this challenge to you out there, wrestling fans: support women's wrestling, support Joshi women's wrestling, support Lucha Libre. The ladies of Lucha Libre. Women's wrestling is an art form. It's different from men's wrestling in a lot of ways because I always feel the women are coming at it with a chip on their shoulder because they always have something to prove. And especially in companies like Senjo and Stardom, we have some of the best wrestlers in the world. We're talking Chihiro Hashimoto. We're talking Miki Iwata. We're talking Ryo Mizunami. We're talking Saya Kamatani. We're talking Saya Ida. We're talking Suzu Suzuki. My queen, Suzu Suzuki, finally on top again. Yeah. We're talking Fury. We're talking Rina Yamashita. Starlight Kid. Even the queen of all the stupid bitches. Tekla. I very much I'm hopeful people listen to this and like they come away with seeing our love of Joshi, of this style of wrestling, and like combine that with our people hear our takes on Fantastica Mania, our takes on the partnerships with New Japan and CMLL as opposed to the partnerships with New Japan and AEW, and we're seeing CMLL, Stardom, TJPW. New Japan Pro Wrestling, DDT, AEW, Ring of Honor all come together for Forbidden Door, which you heard us talk about. So I hope for all that listening to you give Senjo girls a chance, you give Senjo a chance, you give Stardom a chance, and yeah, man, I love talking Joshi with normal people. With Justin's a normal wrestling sicko, not one of those. Oh gosh, you ever talk to those? I can't talk to most Joshi fans because of how weird they are sometimes. But I'm happy to have a talk here with a general wrestling sicko, but a pretty cool dude in Justin.
Yeah.
That's the interesting part of that. But switching gears a little bit, I brought Justin here because another big show happened over the weekend. I'm talking about Stardom: The Convergence. Really, really fun card to watch. The match that I really liked was, of course, the main event. Kurara versus Suzu Suzuki. Oh man, I love Suzu. Her work has always been great. But the build to her, because this is her second title win, right? Because I thought Kurara honestly was gonna win this just based on how Tam sort of like books things and like she's sort of like the Tam figure now. But this was one of the best work matches I've seen of the year. And what more can you say about Suzu Suzuki than watch Suzu Suzuki matches? She's been one of the best wrestlers in her 20s. I'm surprised she didn't rank higher on the wrestlers under 30 on the Voices of Wrestling list, but she's always been someone that I've looked at.
You're surprised underrated Yoshi? Come on, man.
Oh wait, no, yeah, you're right. This is Voices of Wrestling. It's boys. It's a boys club there. So yeah, I really like this match. I really also the other match I really liked was the return match for Momo coming back from injury. I like that. And then I really like the promo that Starlight Kid cut after that, where she basically called out Tekla. We did see Tekla on this card, terrorizing Taro Okada. But Justin, what did you think of this card, man? What did you think of the show?
It was like a lot of people loved it, a lot of people hated it. For me, it was quite good. Just because we saw ex-Super Asia champion Rina Yamashita versus Shuri, and I loved every single second of it. I mean, so like,
oh my God, Shuri versus Rina Yamashita, man.
It was an amazing match.
Okay, I always put over my Filipino brothers and sisters. Shuri is the best Filipino wrestler of all time. Best Filipino wrestler of all time.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this fucking match, man. You want to see two women go at it and just throw shots. Rina, of course, also is one of the best going for the longest time, and she's one of the older wrestlers on the roster. But this match, you want a big fight feeling. You want a big fight. You want a match that feels like a fight. This is exactly where I'm at with you, man. What was the best parts for you for this match? Because this is the one that I would have recommended to everybody to watch, and I am happy that you're the one that brought it up because that's where I was kind of leading you. This card is full of great matches, but on top of them, this one was the one that really sparked my interest because I love Rina and I love Shuri, and this has been building and bubbling over, and this was a fight. I loved it.
So to me, it was a little bit of an in-ring storytelling between Rina's lariat, which she used a lot, and within this match, it felt like Shuri didn't learn from all the learning she could have had with this lariat. Because Rina had so many ways to utilize that lariat, as we saw. Yeah. But then towards the end, we saw how Shuri was able to finally not just rely on her technical wit, but also her other winning points, her llaves, and then number 2, her knee strikes. To me, that was such an interesting way to tell a story. I'm not sure people got that, but to me, it was so clear. But at the same time, it was just a good slobber knocker of a match,
Yeah.
I was totally focused. Yeah.
Yeah. I was I was locked in from bell time, and I was oh man, yeah. The knee strikes that she threw were so. She Siri is known for the head kicks and known for working stiff, and also she did have that. Also, it's been a really great year for her. She also had that match last week with Athena for Ring of Honor, which was also tremendous work there. Siri, man, I recommend this match if you want to look at a breakdown of someone just refusing to give up on their strategy. That's when I saw how Siri was working this. Is she refused to give up on what she was doing to overcome the lariat because she would just said, no, I can just beat this. I don't have to change my strategy. I can, which is an interesting story to tell, man. What else matches stood out to you?
Okay, so match-wise, I really enjoyed Hanan versus Ida Saya. Which, they knew each other. Well, obviously they're from the same faction, right? They're both from Stars, but there was this element of them being respectful, but up to what extent? Which they did very well, which they played very well into the match. There was a spot wherein I really popped when Hanan tried to do Ida's Ida Bashi pin, and when and when Ida tried to do her Hanan 17, which was a media magistral, which was really good. They just kept on doing that, and then there was a point wherein Ida tried to do her muscle buster, which she learned from Jungle Kyona, and she kept on failing. I think she tried to do that maybe 2-3 times. In the end, it was mostly Germans, and she did a fucking Aikido move, which was that I forgot, but it was like it was an Aikido move, which like
The
kind of
wrist
like
flip thing.
made. Yeah, yeah,
It
yeah,
was,
yeah.
it was like
It
Steven
was amazing.
Seagal. It was like Steven Seagal goofiness. I loved it. Also, Saya Ida throws the best chops in wrestling. I don't care who you throw out there. She really does throw the best chops in wrestling. At least aesthetically, the best sounding chops too. This is something that I would go out of my way to watch. If you like great wrestling, if you like storytelling, with the return of Momo Watanabe, they showed like a little bit more of Saya Kamatani sort of falling down in the hole, because it's not really been a good year for her wins wise. So it's really interesting to see the direction that they're going towards, especially, we talked about the G1, but we're also going to be heading towards the 5-Star Grand Prix this year also, which I'm looking forward to it. One of the wrestlers that, of course, probably won't be in the 5-Star is Zaina, who, the open secret, Zaina is most likely heading to AAA to join her, join her partner, Daga. By the way, guys, Perros del Mal, they're back.
Yeah.
They're back.
Yeah.
Like, I hope they bring back the song, but I don't know. I would hate to hear a Def Rebel version of the Perros del Mal theme. I would hate that.
I hope not. I hope not.
God, I hope not.
What, you're not into WWE telling AI, give me a song that sounds like this, right?
Oh gosh, no. I mean, I had
a legally distinct song that sounds like this. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, but guys, I definitely loved having this conversation here. We did a review of of course, with Bunny here. We did a review on Fantastica Mania.
Well,
thank you, Justin,
I have one question to you, Justin, before you wrap up real quick, which is, so Justin, what do you think is going to be, what are they going to do with the IWGP Women's title?
Based on what I've seen with Shuri's performance, and based on how much they like her in terms of like New Japan Strong, the subsidiary that kind of like books her abroad, I feel like she's still retaining this for further, like until something changes. So I feel like
so you're saying they're going to keep it within Stardom? Because like my take is, so are they going to keep the belt on her as a Stardom signed talent, or are they going to try to get her to move to 仙like TJPW?
TJPW, I doubt it, but
I don't think
could
so.
see Shuri losing it to a Sendai girls, to maybe Chihiro Hashimoto.
Oh yeah,
you
never know.
Yeah, she's
Dude,
yeah.
Is Sendai Cyberfight now?
Technically
they
no,
are on
but
Wrestle
they're very
Universe.
they're strongly affiliated with Cyberfight subsidiaries.
Yeah, my thought is they were going to try to either bring it over to somebody who's either freelance Saray, they put it back on Saray, but
or maybe Mika Iwata.
Yeah,
although
Miki Iwata would be. Oh man, she would look perfect. That'd be.
It is really interesting to me that like how strongly the Stardom talent is suddenly showing up on American TV a lot. Given that the partnership is now, theoretically the partnership is with New Japan and the Cyberfight on side. So you think the TJPW, although TJPW girls are on TV too, and Takeshita is like, so it is kind of like a weird kind of like I feel like that one's kind of interesting because it's kind of floating in the air right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh yeah. Also, Sendai Girls is celebrating their 20th anniversary, doing their 20th anniversary tour. I did watch their most recent card. I'm going to give you some like recommendations for that. I really did love the match with Chi-Chi and Oka versus
Doc, before you do that, Doc, before you do that, I need to head out, but like guys, you can catch me on social media at AmericanNumbers.com or American Numbers on Twitter. Yeah.
American
Thanks,
Numbers.
man.
Let me follow.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Yeah, thanks, Arturo, for coming through, man. Obviously. So as we're going through this, man, I love this card. Sendai Girls is the Joshi promotion that I follow. I've been following them for these 20 years. Jash Chisako is my favorite. She's my special little guy. Congrats to Jash for getting the pregnancy. Congrats to her. Also, really brave of her to do the announcement too. But she's punk rock, so she does whatever the fuck she wants. So that's been a line.
It won't damage her reputation. Not
Yeah,
at
who
all.
cares? Yeah, I really like this card. Mio Momono versus Yuna as an opener. I really like that. Mio is really growing as a worker, and Yuna is just, how can you boo Yuna? Yuna is just, she's
She's
just
like this baby face that wouldn't quit, but like she's
yeah,
also learning as you go. She has a really good
yeah,
scissored armbar too, which I
yeah.
enjoy seeing.
Uh, I talk about like my special little guys, and I'm gonna talk about my special big woman, Hiroyo Matsumoto and Miko
Oh my
Kane
god.
versus Stephanie Mays and Yura
Yuna
Suzuki.
Suzuki, yeah.
Oh man, I like Yura. Maze is also really fun to watch. She's a bigger girl, and
She's the German one, right?
yeah, she's the German one.
Yeah.
So she's when she first came in, a lot of people were really down on her, but I think she's pretty much
Mm-hmm.
grown into this. Hiroyo Matsumoto, always a favorite of mine. The throwing the layers like nothing and making a Maze tap to the Boston Crab as you do to the young girls. What I love about these Sendai Girl shows is the roster is very small, so these shows like they go like maybe they're 5-match shows, but 5-match shows in a good way. Like not like when you go to like a WWE show and it's 5 matches and it lasts like 5-6 hours. No, it's 5 matches and it goes like maybe an hour, maybe an hour 30. But yeah,
Definitely.
Matsumoto
You
and
get your
Kane
money's
just
worth when you watch
putting it work.
Sendai, basically.
Yeah. And speaking about you getting your money's work, we have Eureka Oka and Chi-Chi or Chi-Chi Banana, as I'm calling them. Or Barbie Banana
There you
Barbie. They fade off against the Sendai
Aniki,
girls.
right?
Yeah, they goes against Aniki and Hashimoto. You want to talk about aura farming? You want to talk about charisma? You want to talk about two badass big women? We're talking Aniki. We're talking Chitan. Oh man, such an OP tag team, man. It's like
I love them so much.
oh man, they're because Rio does the spot where she does the forever chops in the corner, right? And it's gotten to the point where it's like about like sometimes 2 minutes, 3 minutes of chops. Yeah. It rules. I love it.
What I really like, whenever like they finish after like 3 minutes of chopping, like the announcer goes like, "Oh yeah, it's 300 something chops."
Yeah, announcing the number of chops, it's just great. Yeah. Of course, Banana is gonna drop the fall here. It's fine. It's a really good match here. It's fun to see Hashimoto like work these fun tag matches. She's always serious, whatever, but when you could see like the humor in her matches along with the big suplexes, it's always a fun time. And Aniki, who doesn't love Aniki? Who doesn't love Aniki? One of my favorite workers right now in Japan, one of my favorite like youngsters is Spike Nishimura from Rhode Island. She had a pretty decent match. If you guys really do like shoot style, kind of like a lot of submission style wrestling and all that. Spike and Manami. Oh, Manami is so good too.
Manami's amazing.
Oh man, all these girls work on the Sendai farm. They go visit the elderly people in the old people's homes. Sendai Girls is a good girl promotion, man. They had a really good match. Go ahead.
By the way, I'm not sure if you've noticed this with Spike, but like if you've noticed, she's been workshopping her Excalibur. And it's been getting better and better each time I watch Senju.
Yeah.
Like her Michinoku driver. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, her Michinoku driver. It's great. The one thing I'll mention, like she did do two springboards. I think on the first springboard dropkick, she kind of switched it up to a crossbody, which, that takes a lot of body control. And then they went back to the spot.
Real. Yeah.
But they went back to the spot. I know a lot of people like are critical of that. But you got to realize a lot of these wrestlers here, especially the younger wrestlers, they're working things out on these shows, and these smaller Sendai Girl shows. It's the one camera, no commentary, which by the way I love. I love the no commentary, just static camera, and I'm very
it's just you hearing all that, and I also love that post match they always do like the post match promos because Sendai girls, you know, they do the entertainment. That's what I love about Sendai girls is it's not just like the rough and tumble like fighting, which you know it's great, but it's also like the entertainment side, the promo, the characters. And, you know, speaking of characters, the main event of this saw Hyperactive versus High Energy, Red Energy with Miki Iwata and Mayuki. I love Mika and I love Miyuki. Oh, man. You know, luckily my wife's not here, but Mika is, I mean, everyone in this match they're all gorgeous women, right? Mika is definitely someone that you would see like on like fashion magazines. She is that level of like, beautiful, and then she's also that level of deadly. I love how whenever she throws a head kick, she just looks like the most serious person in the world, and I love it. Anita and Safi, Sapphire, like they are so fun. Like you talk about tech teams that are fun, like in their characters, you know, like I like the inspiration in dosage, right? But imagine if the inspiration could actually work. That's what you get with Hyperactive. I really like them as a team. You know, Miki Iwata and Minami defend these titles. I think, you know, we were talking earlier about the Stardom and Sendai Girls partnership because, you know, they've been like sort of they've been sending girls to Sendai
back
Girls and Sendai Girls have been going back and forth to Stardom. And I'm looking forward to the upcoming Korakuen show for Sendai Girls, which is looking to be close to a sellout. Like, good for them. Like, I don't think they're a sellout yet, but they're selling at a great pace. And for a company the size of Sendai, Senjo, it's like I'm happy. You know, it's 20 years of this company, 20 years of great workers coming in and out. You've seen them work on like top positions in other places. You know, for someone that follows the scene as you do, Justin, I know a lot of people, they sort of like it's focused on a lot of people online talk about TJPW and Stardom. And so places like Ice Ribbon, like Seedling, like Sendai sort of like is off to the side, but for me, Sendai Girls has always been my Joshi promotion. That's always been the show for me to watch because, you know, the legend of Sendai Girls, the legend of Senjo, it's hard work. It's everything, you know. I think that I think when it comes to Sendai Girls, people sort of have this. It's a small room promotion thing. They think about the farm.
They barely watch it, you know.
They barely watch it. They think about Miko Satomura, and like it's okay. Yeah, Miko Satomura retired. Miko Satomura was like, I think she still is Is she still the dojo, the head trainer?
Yeah. From what I know, it's now Aniki, but Miko's still like the head. No, Miko's still head trainer, but surprisingly, Aniki and now Manami.
Oh, okay. That makes perfect sense. Yeah. Man, Manami is so young too.
Did you see the protest of Reina Takano, the one who's going to debut on July?
Oh no! Why? What happened?
So like basically like it's one of those few promotions wherein I actually saw a protest again after like several years. So like they showed like you know, you have to do this drill, that drill, this drill, that drill, and it was very like nice to see. So like just based on that and just them choosing to include that on the show without commentary or anything, it goes to show that like they actually like put some deep care when it comes to like how they view pro wrestling, how they book pro wrestling, and how Satomura like has changed as trainer. Like obviously like I think her reputation's been damaged with like, you know, the previous like documentary, you know what I'm talking about?
Gaia Girls.
Where she was like, that one. But like I think she's kind of like no, she's definitely like redeemed herself.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah,
see like
she's changed.
how
Yeah.
Sendai's being just, you know.
Yeah, they changed with the times. Like, because we think about like
Exactly.
what the Joshi gyms were before. It was very, you think about gyms in general. And I think, we were talking about Stardom earlier with, and I think about how Milano Collection is like sort of like runs that similar to how they did the Dragon system of like churning out talent within like 6 months. And I do think that for the most part, Joshi has changed for the better in terms of development of
100%.
talent and bringing talent in and bringing talent up. We're seeing less of like the bullying, less, outwardly we're seeing less of that, less of the abuses that we would see and like read about. And I kind of for 20 years for Senjo to run for 20 years, that's really impressive. Other companies shut down, other companies like just sort of give up, but they've become part of the community of Sendai, and I think that's really fun. That's an aspect of some of the smaller independent shows like Osaka Pro, like Michinoku Pro, where those are also allied with the cities that they're working out of, with the regions that they're working out of, and to be part of that, and for Sendai Girls to have that kind of partnership with the local of Sendai, I think that's fun. That's great, and yeah, man, I'm always happy to have you here, Justin.
Thanks for having me.
So if people wanted to like read your stuff and like follow you online, where can people do that?
Oh yeah, so like my Substack is justinckw.substack.com. Basically, like I haven't been writing a lot, but one thing that was very important to me, the Bushiroad shares transfer between Bushiroad and TD Asahi and Cyber Agent. I've written extensively about that, so please give it a read. It's on there on my Substack, Justin CKW. I'm also on Blue Sky, Threads, and on X/Twitter with the same handle, Justin CKW. So give me a follow and watch me clip some moves that I like to see.
Yeah, Justin, like nobody. I said this when you and Arturo and when we were having this conversation around Bushi Road and the purchase from TV Asahi and Cyber Agent. No one has having these discussions about it to this point. And I'm just like wondering why people are hesitant to make these like sort of like calls on it, like, and try to like see that there's actually a change that's going to happen. I feel like a lot of the New Japan fan base has sort of settled into it's ghetto's going to be running ghetto, whatever. This is just what's going to happen. And same boss, same as the old boss. But I'm like, if you paid attention to when, no, like when Cyber Agent purchased Pro Wrestling Noah, they made quick actions and changes to the booking and brought in Keiji Muto right away and completely like flipped what they were doing with Pro Wrestling Noah, and to the point now where Pro Wrestling Noah is back to being, I think they're back on their feet in a good way.
Yeah,
and it's guys, you should be watching Pro Wrestling Noah. Shout out to Shane Haste, a local LA guy. Look, I know he's from Australia, okay, but he's a local guy in LA. He's been here. He's been in LA for almost like since 2003-ish, I think, when he started.
Have you heard the Philippines is claiming him too?
Of course, why not? Dude, his girlfriend his wife is actually half Pinay. So
exactly, that's why we're already claiming him.
Yeah, we claim when you marry a Filipino, you become Filipino. So shout out to Shane Haste. I do think we'll probably do more. Well, probably we should do more Noah calls here. I've been liking Noah this year. I like that I was able to get like a Senjo review on here, because I do believe like that is my favorite special little guy company.
Not so often we hear about Senjo, actually.
Yeah.
So this is good to talk about.
Yeah, I'm going to send a shout out to my friend Tim Hunter and Eric over at Joshing Around. You guys need to cover more Sendai girls. Cover Senjo. Do it. Yeah, you know, it's worth it.
Truly.
But I want to thank Justin for coming here. Always a pleasure, pare. Like honestly,
Yeah, man. Likewise.
having you on here, having someone talk on here. We got to have you on to talk more with Arturo. I was loving that.
Yeah,
We got to
man.
have you on to
I
talk
enjoyed
more
it.
about the wrestling business in Japan because Justin is one of the few people that actually knows what he's talking about when it comes to Japan. So you know, thank you for coming on, Justin. Definitely check
Yeah, man.
Justin.
Thanks for having me.
Just check out Justin's on his Substack. Check him out online. You know, this guy is very poggy. This guy is super poggy.
Cheers,
So,
man.
as I say once again, you'll probably hear me and a couple other people talk about the Forbidden Door, and this is sort of our Forbidden Door opening as we review CMLL, Stardom, and Senjo. As all these companies have like these working relationships with each other, and I think that's pretty fun to talk about. So, yeah, Justin, I'll give you the last word, and I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. So, go ahead, man. Whatever you want to say.
All right. So speaking of Senjo, we should promote it. On July 12th, Sunday, it'll be card is beautiful. We're gonna see Saoriano with Aniki versus Yura Suzuki and Hiroyo Matsumoto. I'm looking forward to that match. Another match
Absolutely.
which I'm looking forward to, Saya Ida versus Manami. So you're gonna see a lot of this and a lot of fucking like bridge pins, which is which will be super exciting. A lot of powerhouse moves from both sides as
man.
well.
Yeah,
We're going to have a Buddhist match as well, featuring the Kuan Yin Buddha, Mother Kuan Yin Buddha, whoever's in that match, with teaming up with Jaguar Yokota and Unagi Sayaka and Saira. I think Saira's from Marvelous, right? Like the new yeah. I heard good things about her, but I haven't watched any of her matches. But like everyone in Japan has said, like watch her. I'm excited to see how I'm excited to see how she's like. Versus they'll be fighting Stephanie Hayes, right? The German. Mr. Ikemen, Kuroshio Tokyo Japan, and Hyperactive. So I'm excited to see that. It's a comedy match, but at least we'll see some good shit. Who else am I excited to see? Jakong will be there, obviously. Spike versus Senka for the junior championship.
Oh gosh. Oh yeah, Spike versus Senka. They're gonna go so hard. Senka is someone. Man, I saw that match with Chris Hero. I've seen all of her matches this year.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, dude, you got to see the match with Chris Hero. It's tremendous.
She brought back Chris Hero from the dead.
She brought Chris Hero back from the dead. Spike, of course, in this Senjo show called Senka out right at the end with her one note promo of Senka, and then that was it. that was the whole promo. I think that this upcoming July 12th card is going to be really awesome to watch. I definitely am going to be there not be there, but I'm definitely going to watch it on my television screen.
Right.
Man, I do want to say this also because this is a fun way to do it. I'm going to put a pause right here, and I'm gonna have us do the.
I have chatted with like some people on Twitter, and I'm not saying everyone. I've met a lot of good people, but a lot of them are insufferable and very elitist when it comes to Joshi, which is
absolutely
annoying because too much.
No, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
No, so basically that's why it's been such a joy to talk to Joshi fans on Threads and on Blue Sky, just because it's more friendly, it's more open. If you have questions, they're more willing to answer and help out the casual fans. So shout out to my Joshi friends on Threads and on Blue Sky. On Twitter, not so much because it tends to be really toxic.
Yeah, except for some key people. Yeah. Go ahead,
TJPW folk are often ostracized, which tends to be sad because I do love some TJPW from time to time, but everyone kind of like shits on them for some weird reason. But like, I do love TJPW.
Yeah, I love TJPW.
Yeah.
Miyu Watanabe, man, that's a star wrestler. Suzume, you know, sorry, man. I also really like, I know she's not really labeled as like a high work rate person, but I really do like Camille. She's fun. Also,
she's great.
She's fun. I like her. She's going to Philippines.
I think so. I think it's her. But like some TJPW talent and Choco Pro talent will be working with Dextron and WUW Philippines. So like I'm excited to check that out as well.
Yeah, shout out to Dex Dex Wrestling over in the Philippines. Shout out, man. Shout out Philippines. I definitely love having Justin out here for this show, and we're closing this show out because I chose to have you be the main event of this. Justin is a great follow on Substack, of course. Follow him on Substack. Follow him on his social media. He already said that, but say it one more time for the people out there.
All right. So for the people out there, follow me on just33kw.substack.com or replace the Substack with, the usual handles on Blue Sky, on Threads, and on X. You'll find me there. And yeah, basically I'm just everywhere, flipping the shit out of Joshi or like or whatever wrestling that I've been watching.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
definitely love that. As we close out, I'm gonna say one more thing. Support women's wrestling. Support women. That's what we do here. I'm all about women. I'm all about women's wrestling. I'm all about pro wrestling. So enjoy yourself. I know we talked about a variety of subjects on here, and especially, enjoy Justin and Arturo talking about the G1 and future plans with Cyber Fight, Bima, and TV Asahi as they take over the New Japan scene. And I'm still shell shocked that Jake Lee is in America. Oh my gosh, I might have to go to Chicago for that, man. I might have to go to Chicago.
Will he half-ass it or will he like go all the way? That's the thing. It's a different audience, so
it's a different audience, and also, I did go to the Bima website, and he is the face of a Bima right now. So who knows what moves are being made? They might have told him to get in gear, and we might see the Jake Lee that won the Triple Crown. We might see that Jake Lee again.
Honestly, I can't wait for the Western fans to see what Jake Lee is all about. They're gonna hate him at first, but people will know. People will know by the end of 2026 or after June 30, when the transfers, when the sheriff's transfer of Bushiroad finally happens. That's when we're gonna see a lot of Jake Lee, presumably.
Yeah, let's see. Let's see. Let's hope he makes it to Dynamite, as United Empire might have a big reunion on Dynamite. So I want to thank Jay. I want to thank Justin. I want to thank Bunny. I want to thank Arturo. I want to thank everybody that's been on this review. So as I say all the time, see you next time.